Let's do it. I get to cut off the whole 6 minutes. Just us talking about nothing. Goonlocks! Is that how you wanted to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then... Thank you.
Thank you for showing up.
Back for another week. Back for another week.
And this content may be inappropriate for some users. Yeah, I'll continue.
Okay, thanks.
That's how much delay it is.
Yeah.
I need to share this out so everyone can, get at us. But
yeah.
Back for another week. Obviously not much college recap this week.
No.
This week's show, as you can see by the title, is about NFL frauds. We will pick up a little bit of the NFL playoffs, but there is some fraudulent behavior happening in the NFL. And then we'll obviously get to our news and Twitter. There's a lot of it. And some of it is good and some of it is sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Good, bad, and sad.
So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to let you start the recap while I shoot this out to everybody so we can hopefully get a listener or two.
Absolutely. Start out, only college football game of the week last weekend was the Army-Navy game. And if a game could have ever lived up to an expectation in all of the wrong and right ways, the Army-Navy game was that.
They did it. It did its thing.
Came out, Navy dominated first quarter. Looked like eventually that they'd just figured out a way to just kind of handle the game. Never going to be a blowout per se, but Army couldn't do anything. Then they blocked a punt and got a little momentum. And then it was 10-10, and we were headed for overtime. And that under of 32.5 was looking just beautiful.
Just like on track. Like how would it not?
Right.
Oh.
But, I mean, I'm talking probably second quarter as we're headed to halftime, obviously looking for another score going into half. But I'm thinking at that point, the only way this is getting to the over is overtime.
Yeah.
And so I'm in and out, watching a little bit here and there.
Excited about life.
And then not able to watch the overtime or anything like that. But the fact that they both got touchdowns in overtime, which was impressive in its own right for the way that those two teams played offense.
And those two touchdowns were impressive.
Right. And so you get to 34, and then you get a fumble by Navy on the 1 yard line. Army recovers, and then Army just has to kick a field goal to win it. And ultimately they do. Stoy, you had Army, who was plus 1.5.
Let's get it.
You had them covering and winning, and I had Navy covering the 1.5. So obviously winning and covering. However, the streak has been snapped.
It's such
17 years.
It is the most Army-Navy way to snap it too, because they have never gone to overtime.
Right.
Not once in the history.
So the only way to snap it was 17-year streak of the under hitting, and still an absurd rate for any type of academy games. It's 95 or something like that % of those games go under. This one, like I said, took overtime, took 2 touchdowns and a field goal in overtime to get to the over. But I nailed it. This was the year.
And I'm pretty sure.
So
I'm pretty sure I said, I'm going to bet it.
Right.
And it's going to come back.
It'll find
a way. And it did.
And
in the most tragic way.
Yeah.
The hell goes to over it? Like overtime? Right. Those overtime touchdowns are sweet, though. I'm not going to lie.
Fun to finally hit an over. Interesting way to get there. And really in the only way that really makes sense for that game to go over. Yeah. So a good college football game, like I said, lived up to exactly what the Army-Navy hype was as far as being a close competitive game with limited scoring because both teams are so familiar with the systems. And
but I also thought the play calling specifically for Army was just for like 3.5 quarters.
Yeah.
was just putrid. You're doing this. You didn't try anything.
Right.
And then when they started throwing and trying things, oh, look at that.
It opened some stuff up.
Started winning.
Right.
And yes, they ran all game. They could have been surprised. That was not it.
Yeah.
Not it. But
and I don't watch enough of the other armed forces games throughout the year to know, are they a little more, do they keep it closer to the vest in these games, just knowing that one mistake can make or break? Is it a familiarity thing? It's probably a combination of a lot of things, because neither one of those teams was considered low scoring during the year this year. Like, they were above what they would normally even be throughout the year. I mean, a couple games for each of them under 21 points was all on either side. So that's ultimately what led me to take the over, was just like, hey, maybe they are a little bit more dynamic and not as good on defense. Not the case when we watched on Saturday, but the over nonetheless.
I'm going to go with the under 1 because it was in regular time, not extra time.
Okay.
Yep, I'm going to steal that. It's World Cup time, so
sure.
Just saying.
You do what you got to do.
We could just not talk about the week of the NFL.
So NFL Week 14, another week where we agreed a lot, and another week. Oh, we went there. I was going to get physically ill and then let you flush it, but that's fine.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Next time.
I
see what you're doing.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah. Gross. The Raiders come out hot. Like, I went 10-0.
Yeah.
Throwing the rock, just nothing. They were not getting stopped. And then I decided to, I don't know what I did. I walked away and I made dinner, wasn't paying attention.
It was 16-3 with 5 minutes left.
And then I'm like, what happened?
So we nailed the under. We nailed the Rams not being able to do anything. The Raiders doing some, but still not being. I mean, the total is 44.5. And even then, this game didn't get within double digits.
No. Like,
and
it went exactly how we thought it would, and then it stopped.
Yeah. A couple penalties. A couple dumb plays by the Raiders.
Dumb.
Lack of ability to get a first down on 3rd and half a yard. And then a 98-yard drive from the guy who hadn't. I'm not sure he was ever in the locker room. He might have just got the pads on the way out to the field.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield showed up Thursday night.
Showed out
for 2 drives at the end of the game. Tom Brady-esque. 2 teams in the last, I don't even know how long it was, long history of the NFL have trailed by basically two scores, but needing 2 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes of the game and come back and won the game. And those games happened 5 days apart. Tom Brady leading one team and the GOAT Baker Mayfield leading the other.
Let's not that. Although I can't wait to see the little tweets and stats later, especially on the Raiders too. We'll get some stats on them later of how bad, just abysmal they are with a lead. So
we both had the Raiders covering 6 and under 44.5. Thankfully, we hit the unders.
Hey, Thursday night unders.
Woo. Woo. So that is a tie and a miss. Next up, we had the Vikings and the Lions. Minnesota will be mentioned later in the broadcast. Vegas nailed them again. Vegas has a pretty good pulse on the Vikings, it seems, for whatever reason, but the Lions, 2.5-point favorites at home against Minnesota, gave up a lot of yards, didn't give up a ton of points, and their offense has been clicking. 31-23, I believe, was the final. 34-23, actually 34-23. While in doubt, because it's the Lions and how the Vikings have come back, the Lions controlled that game. Minnesota was not able to run the football at all. Lions were kind of able to do both and kind of control both line of scrimmage. Had a 3rd and 7 play action with a
So glorious.
Tackle eligible in motion for a first down to seal that game.
That was awesome.
Penny Sewell.
Yeah, loved the hell.
I mean, we're not talking 3rd and 2 here, though.
No.
I mean, we ran the tackle in motion, in jet motion, and then threw him the ball, and he was so open that he had time to get 8 yards as a 6'3", 340-pound
touch.
Yeah, lineman. But,
and he stayed in bounds, had the wherewithal to get down and stay in bounds.
Laid down, flopped down. So, yeah.
That was impressive. I enjoyed that.
We both had Minnesota covering and winning, and we both had the over, of which
we got the over.
Everything hit. So, good job on the over-unders for us there. Texans, Cowboys. Thankfully, this game was not on TV. I
watched it.
And I didn't have red zone where I was at.
Gosh.
And so I took a nap.
As you should have.
Woke up to the Lions-Vikings finish, which was on
that's
TV.
Exciting.
So I kind of watched the end of that. And then the update of the Cowboys losing. And at the time that I woke up, I believe the Texans had 1st and goal.
Oh, after the pick? Yeah.
I mean, yes, come to find out after the pick, but like I'm just reading what's running on the screen or whatever. Maybe it was an in-game update or something.
Looking at the score going, well.
I'm glad I didn't have to watch it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's, Cowboyed at home. Yeah. They either seem to play a really close game or it's just a blowout. There doesn't seem to be much in between, but they go 98 yards in less than 2 minutes, and Zeke finishes it off with a touchdown run to win the game. And the Texans are happy because they pretty much sealed the first overall pick. One more loss this week will do that for them. But
man, they should have won. They should have won that game.
Houston definitely.
They should have won that game.
Definitely covered the 17.
That was such a big number too.
Yeah,
such a big number.
Which I mean, you said that last week, and like I don't.
When have we disagree? Can you remember the last time you've seen 17 in the NFL?
No, I mean,
I don't even know where they got that from.
Right. I mean, the thing is when Dallas has been winning against bad teams of late.
Right.
You look at the Bears.
Yeah,
So like this season, when they've been able to run away with games at the end, literally. Mm-hmm. They've won by 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns.
I just think it was a little skewed because of how they ran away.
They knew they could get money on it. Is the thing? I mean, that's probably ultimately what it is. Vegas knew that they probably had as much money on the Cowboys, if not more, than what they had on.
Probably, but Cowboys at home, big spread, bad idea. Yeah. A bad idea.
So you got the Cowboys. You got Houston covering the spread. However, you had it going under. You didn't have Houston scoring 23.
Did anybody?
I didn't have Houston scoring 23, but I had Dallas scoring 40.
So that's fair.
Ended up hitting the over. So that was about the only thing I did well this week for the first 3 games at least. We split that and remained tied. Next game, Sunday Night Football.
Because it's going to make me physically ill.
We had the Dolphins -3. At the Chargers, 52.5. That was the total. Tua will be another person brought up later in the
Dolphins. There's a theme
show here, and as will Herbert. But one quarterback showed up, and the other one
did not.
Pooped himself.
Probably his worst game of the season.
Well, I mean, there was last week. There's a trend.
You're not wrong.
So Miami obviously did not cover. Scored late to make this game look more manageable than what it actually was, because I watched most of this game and
it wasn't anything. Not good.
There's a lot of love for Herbert, but he earned it in this game.
He really balled out.
Yeah,
what we can
say. He slung it around the yard.
They should have done that last week.
Big moments, and they made plays and the Dolphins did not look good, ultimately.
No, they looked just really bad.
So we had the over of 52.5, and we had Miami on both ends of that -3, and we missed all of them.
So we went over. That's good.
So,
Goonlock!
But in a bad way.
Yeah, we need like a negative Goonlock.
Yeah. There we go.
Because, wow.
Yeah. So we
continued that train.
If you faded, you were good. So then the Patriots, 1.5 point favorites on Monday night, went into Arizona. Kyler Murray got hurt.
Yes, him tearing his ACL changed.
But I mean, Colt McCoy did fine.
I know, but
the second half,
it changed things.
What changed things was the fumble.
No, I mean that too.
If they score on that drive, the game's completely different. The Cardinals probably actually won the game. Instead, Hopkins fumbles, doing I'm not sure what with the football.
Yeah.
And the Patriots score.
It was not top.
Then that's what flipped that game.
Yeah.
Mac Jones was yelling at the sideline, ignoring play calls again, which was fantastic.
I see a trend happening.
The Cardinals we know are bad, and the Patriots
aren't much better.
They'll come back later as well. You hit the under of 44.5.
Whoop.
And I had the over.
And that's it right there. That was the ball game. Came down to Monday Night Football.
That over-under is what it came down to. So, shitty shot. We'll click back real quick to college football. Just a quick reason why Stoy is also holding a shitty shot here. The Heisman Trophy, which not a ton of interest in overall. Things kind of with injuries and whatnot, the way the season kind of unfolded. Nobody really cared that much. Every year's a little bit different, but this year it felt like even more so. But at the beginning of the year, as I had USC making the college football playoff, which they did not, I also kind of doubled down on that in the fact that thinking that they would make the playoff, Caleb Williams would win the Heisman. Caleb Williams did still end up winning the Heisman. As retribution for that, Stoy is partaking in a shitty shot today with me. So, which thought I'd share that real quick. Besides that, I don't think either one of us, nor anyone else out there, really wants to hear about the Heisman, because I don't know that if they just didn't give one this year, I don't think anybody would have cared.
Not at all.
So,
not at all. Not this year. Was not exciting because of injuries.
For the week, Stoy was 5-10, and I was 4-11. 3 of those being total bets.
Oh, really good. Really good stuff.
Fade the fade.
Well, screwball peanut butter.
Yeah.
Screwball. Always delish.
To the misfits, black sheep, and screwballs.
Here. You're here. All right. Bets of the week, though. Tennessee decided to not show up. They're in a downtrend, too. Pretty sure they're on the list. So that money line lock didn't hit. Cole with Seattle also on a conversation later.
Yeah.
Spread lock +9 with Denver and KC. Look at your boy picking Denver. Ooh.
Never a doubt.
Never a doubt.
I mean, when you get down to the Chiefs 28-0,
yeah,
you always expect to cover.
You always expect to cover.
Yeah.
So that happened.
The Chiefs tried to pull an old Atlanta trick there.
They sure did.
Mm-hmm.
They sure did. Actually, no, we moved on. It's a Raiders trick.
Oh,
it's not Atlanta. The stat will show later.
Oh, that's fair.
It's proven that. Mm-hmm. But Denver just still didn't look good. I don't care about what Kansas City.
They scored 28 points.
I know, which is the most they've scored.
It's like twice as much as they usually score.
Almost 2.5
Almost
times.
3. Yeah.
Yeah. Then their quarterback, in the words of Robbie Unger, went sleepies on the field.
Oh, yeah.
He was seeing things. The crazy thing to me was the size of the knot on his head.
Yeah, you shouldn't try to dive straight.
No. You shouldn't. Also, you could just slid like normal.
Oh, he's trying to show some toughness.
Yeah. Oh, finally? All season?
Hey.
Yeah.
Better late than never.
You know. So, yeah, he got concussed. But anyways, covered. Yeah. And then Philly. My Lord.
I mean, we got the best team in football, and you got the team that is also going to be mentioned later.
The Giants are doing
giant
things do.
Mm-hmm.
And, I almost don't I don't at all feel bad for New York fans because they've got, like, the Mets do the same shit.
Right.
just falter at the end.
Right.
That's what's happening with the G-men. Over under lock, Cincy Cleveland, under 47.5. That was kick. It was easy stuff. Cole missed the Kansas City Denver because
Just barely.
Just barely.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Right.
Kansas City scored how many?
34.
Right. So,
And you're thinking 34-10?
should have been 31-10.
Max? Like that. I liked it.
No, I don't.
Just saying that it didn't happen.
No.
And then DGen pick with for me was Minnesota and Baltimore at plus 379. Wow, that's that was unfortunate. And then yours was DGen pick with Cleveland, which didn't. I mean, that's a normal ass.
Deshaun Watson. We'll talk later.
He's not good.
We'll talk later.
So that's our recap.
Boom.
One. We love it. All right. So do we want to get into? Do you want to start the theme of the rest of the show?
Let's do news. Do you want to go news?
Because I feel like
first?
some of our news has some of it in there.
Yeah, but we need to avoid that.
Okay. So let's not.
We'll avoid that part of the news.
Okay.
Let's do some college football news and then some other stuff.
Okay.
And then backdoor into that, then into picks, and then finish with the playoff predictor.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Which I think we actually. When did we switch to this one? We had it a lot. By the way.
I think I tried to put most of the stuff over there.
I know, but I think by the time I thought about doing it,
Yeah.
I think we might have already
put some new stuff in.
Yeah, let me see if I can't find it. No. This one. Let's see. August. What? August. What?
That must be a different one.
Yeah.
That's
Where the hell did it go? Oh, here it is.
Did you find it?
Yeah, we had Thursday, Wednesday. Jeez, we actually had a lot of stuff. All right. Let's cut on over. Let's see. A little baseball. I want to sprinkle some baseball in too.
All right.
Just because there's some baseball things happening. I don't know if you followed it at all, but Judge agreed with San Francisco for like $40 more million than he eventually went back to the Yankees for. And so this is just the
Did
two
they ever
stuff.
post a story on that? Like ultimately it just came down to winning? Came down to legacy?
To be fair, it's the Yankees. I didn't care too much outside of that.
Right. I was
you know what I
just
mean?
curious.
Little college football with Dion. Dion's going to be, big deal.
Colorado, yep.
I wrote a whole newsletter article on it. So if you guys
saw
want to follow it, go ahead and do that. Read that. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But this is interesting. And
I haven't seen any other
it tracks.
one way or the other, but this
It
makes
makes
sense.
sense. Now, I believe him from knowing who the man he is. He's not going to be petty and make a.
Right.
He'll squash it as much as he possibly can. It would be my assumption. And they run his son, and I forgot which one, runs their own media.
Mm-hmm.
So they own everything they have in media.
Right.
I actually started, we Goon Squad, started subscribing to it. So it's very interesting stuff. By the way. And very candid. I loved it.
I mean, it's not.
Talk shit on Sons all the time. It's awesome. Anyways, Albert Coleman, whoever that is.
Mm-hmm.
According to my source, JSU, Jackson State is in the hot seat for misuse of football funds. Individuals were stealing money from football program by moving it to general funds and scholarships, basically stealing from prime and players. This is 80% why Dion is leaving. This will be the next breaking news. You heard it from here first. Now, we haven't heard much, but the plot thickens. Really, his contract was tied to a lot of sales, and I'll let you guys go on here and read it because it's not any of it's verified. Just wanted to mention it. So go in there, but his contract was a lot to do with TV and sales of tickets. And apparently he used we know this is a fact. He did use his money to build locker rooms and provide things, right? And apparently he was not getting part of his contract that was due. So interesting. If true, we haven't seen anything based upon it, but wanted to get it out there just a wee bit. Yeah. That's NFL. You don't want to bring it up?
We can bring that up a little bit.
You did this one. David Eckholt tweeted, Kentucky quarterback will
Levis?
Levis?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Levi's.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
and I'm going to go too.
He's probably got a nil deal, and if he doesn't, that's on him and his agent.
Or it's on them. Levi's.
Well, I mean,
apparently he's going to go get drafted.
Oh, yeah.
High.
It's supposed to be top 5.
That's a very easy, just a very easy advertisement deal, right?
Yeah, everything's there. You don't have to change anything.
You don't do anything.
Yep.
Will not play in the bowl game against Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Now, makes sense. It's a irrelevant bowl.
Yep.
Against a really good defense. So why put yourself out there?
His draft stock has dropped a little bit already. There's no reason to hurt it anymore.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
So this is possible showdown. Deuce Hogan, who played at Iowa, is a backup at Kentucky. So you're possibly getting backup number 3 or 4, depending on which one wins the job at Iowa, versus backup number 2 or 3, which would also be a former Iowa backup, playing against each other in a bowl game. Kentucky had 2 other receivers drop out. So, I mean, we're talking about like the excitement of young players and guys who have never got a chance to be able to play against each other.
This is a bowl game to watch.
Except for the over-under in this game might start in the mid-20s.
No, it didn't. It was in the, it was like 42, 43 or something, because I saw someone tweet under. Just ride the
under. No doubt.
And that obviously it's been going down since, because there's no way it could not have been doing that.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Also, overall, we're not going to speak much about the bowl games. There is bowl games this week.
Yeah.
We're not going to highlight those for a couple reasons. Not because we don't care about the teams, don't care about college football, but it's not going to be good football, i.e. what we're learning here, right? A lot of players aren't going to play. Don't know who's playing. Can't really bet on it. Some people do. I don't bet on these low games. I only bet when we get into New Year's Day.
New Year's Eve games. There's going to be a lot of sharp action on these. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of up and down. I saw one the other day. Coastal Carolina's quarterback announced that he was transferring. However, that moved the line in, I believe it's Central Michigan they're playing. Mm-hmm. It's like 6 or 7 points. The last part of his tweet when he's transferring, he's playing in the bowl game. So if you got in the gap between that line dropping, timing, whatever. So just things like that are reasons that there's stay away for your casual bettor. You're going to get a lot of in-game stuff, trending stuff once you start watching if you got a feel one way or the other. But besides that, it's not something that you try to predict 3, 5, 7 days out. Just
not a chance.
Pretty much impossible without.
So we're going to stay away from it, but we will continue to always have these types of updates. So this was crazy.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that Lamar Jackson and Stetson Bennett were both born in the same year? The same year.
Joe Burrow also, if you want to throw that in there.
And Joe Burrow, apparently.
There's
a
handful.
Lamar
Trevor Lawrence is younger.
Heisman in 2016. How crazy is that? And it really, it all stems from that Stetson Bennett is old.
Right.
That's
just an old ass man.
Causes it.
Playing a young kid's game.
Oh. All right, so then we switch. Guess we don't need to be. Yep, and we go. Nope. Did you watch the match?
I did.
What'd you think of the format?
It was good. I like the format. I mean, I like those 4 guys.
I think if it wasn't those 4 guys, though,
it wouldn't have been as good.
No, and I don't know if I like night golf.
Yeah,
from a spectator out, like
you have to be on a course that actually has night golf. Like they brought lighting into that course, and it wasn't good. I mean, they had
it was dark
spotlights. It was dark.
Like they were shining flashlights on their ball, like so they could see to hit them.
No, yeah, they had full spotlights. Every player had a guy with a spotlight following them.
Which that's what it was like.
So at least they were prepared, like knowing that was going to be the case. But yeah, it wasn't aesthetically pleasing.
No,
you couldn't see a lot of places on the golf course. You couldn't see where balls were finishing. You couldn't tell. Like a lot of times, I didn't feel like you could tell which area, like where the green was in accordance to where they were hitting. So it's kind of hard to track. But as far as the entertainment factor of it,
it was great.
Enjoyed that part.
It was obviously Tiger lovers. It was good to see him stripe the ball.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some rust and stuff, but whatever. That course, though, from what you can see in the dark, looked immaculate.
Well, and those 4 were just raving about how good the greens were and stuff like that.
I love how it started off, them getting the carts and just a nice little Coors Light and just getting at it.
The one thing I will say is not good for golf courses in general, like specifically public golf courses, to watch 4 of the best players in the world just drive their carts right up to the edge of greens, which you're just not supposed to do. And I just I, as a golf enthusiast, was like, not good. Not good. Don't do that.
Groundskeeper was probably like, wait.
It's private.
Our check.
Right? It's huge.
All right, that's fine. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it tomorrow.
So it's fine.
I'll deal with it tomorrow. But a couple from the Tiger tracker, a couple quotes from Tiger. I'm lucky enough to have gotten to a point where I can actually hit the golf ball full speed. I can hit any shot you want. Next progression is able to walk, and then I'll be able to compete against these kids again. I think that's an important piece, like who don't follow golf. Yeah. And the reason we're bringing up golf more is because after bowl season, really all we have is golf.
Transition right into it.
We got NFL playoffs and golf. That's all we got. So we're going to do a little of that. But plantar fasciitis in his foot.
That and just still the struggle
his damn
of
leg.
The injury. But he gimped around. I would not even limped.
But the thing is, and I've heard him say this before, is he's always going to have a limp because his leg is actually shorter.
Right.
When they did his surgery, they shaved off part of his leg.
But it looks painful still at this point.
Oh, it does. It does. But it doesn't look like it affects his swing now, as opposed it did.
Right, that's true.
And we're talking about a man who made the cut in the majors, which is, it's just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Right now, I'm driving it longer than I did in my prime, and it's all due to technology. I'm hitting my irons farther now than I ever have. The ball has changed so much. And he changed his ball. He actually went from the BXS, which is the soft, to just the regular BX. Yeah. Said he got 10 more yards carry.
Is that good?
I don't know, but I bet it popped those sales quick. So I play the BXS. I like the soft feel, personally, myself. That was a little golf. I had to put this out there. First of all, if you're not following PGA Tour, which is TUOR, they have some funny things. But this one is breaking. The United States attempted to trade Patrick Reed for Brittany Griner, but Russia declined the offer, not wanting him either. I mean, it's just fun.
Enough said. Yeah,
that's just fun. It's just fun. I think this might be the last golf thing, but. Does this man have the most unlucky, in golf or what?
I mean, his ball actually ended up okay here. His ball ends up on the green. Yeah. But, I mean, still, it would have been closer.
It would have been a lot.
But he did make that putt.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And the other guy would have been
Real quick, replay that. Those that are viewing with us, he's 120 yards out, whatever. Far enough away, he's hitting a full shot. His ball, so you can see 2 golf balls right there. The golf ball on the right was just struck by his ball, the ball on the left, which was laying on the green, and he shot the golf ball on the right 20-ish yards off the green. Now, for those who are interested, that golf ball will get to be replaced and putted from approximately the area of which it was struck.
Correct.
And then Tagallo plays his golf ball from wherever it lands.
Yep.
So,
but we're talking about Tagallo, like last year had crazy bounces and divots.
He's
he's just
got his first win this weekend.
Yep.
As well. So good to see.
A lot of NFL. Can't really play that.
Yeah, this is good.
This is really good. I'm gonna turn the volume off so we don't get. All right. Well, actually, I leave it here because of the caption.
Yeah.
So, where's my mouse? Stop! You're going too fast. Caption is by Reggie Chapman Jr. Why did the security guard think he could stop the literal United States Army from rushing on the field? So if you check this guy right here.
Yeah.
What?
Now you can zoom in.
Yeah.
He's hold me back. Hold me back. I'm gonna hold you back. Come on. Yeah, don't go on the.
Screw it.
Yeah.
The literal.
I mean, does he have a guy in his ear like, get him, get him, no, get him
all?
No.
This is sad,
slimy.
Like I don't even know, and I'm gonna stop here. Okay,
this is a
running back, high school championship game.
Yep.
I think it's second or third down. So granted, there would be another down. People were making a thing of that, but running back's here right now. Right now.
Tackled.
What happened?
So the only thing that I can say for the ref is if you watch the end of the play, there's a guy that guy right there falls into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you can see the unsurety as the guy's running down the line. He just throws his arms up and everybody got up over here fast enough. Nobody knew who had the ball. Like I didn't know. It took me 3 times watching.
Right.
So like I can understand, but like you can see that the guy, cause like all of a sudden he falls down, but then like it's just the timing of the play. Like if that guy didn't fall into the end zone, I don't think.
But like, how did he just agree?
No, that's my biggest thing is
like,
with the guy over the. Like I have a bigger problem with the guy
because
in
the guy
end
over the
zone.
football is looking at the football. In my opinion,
And
right
he
now,
watches where it came from. Like this guy can't see where the football is even.
So here, he's not calling it.
Yeah.
He's calling it.
Right.
He looks at him and goes, "Oh yeah, that's fine." I don't know what to tell you, but this guy's not close. He's down right there.
Yeah.
This is the football.
Yeah, I mean he's a yard short. This isn't. We're not talking 6 inches. We're not talking about extending the football. Yeah, I mean it's just a.
That's it. The issues. I would not like to lose a state championship that way. Now, granted, again, it was not 4th down, so they could have scored again, but didn't even get the chance.
Yeah.
Didn't even get the chance. NFL. That's where you named it. Oh God, the roughing the passer.
I mean, if we've gotten through the college, we can kind of cycle back through.
I think there was just one college left.
Cade McNamara.
That is important. No. Did you see Cade McNamara?
Yeah, it was up.
Oh. I thought you just said
and
it.
Mike Leach.
Yeah, that's the one I was actually looking for. Where'd it go?
Mike Leach is at the very bottom. We don't have to worry about the Cade McNamara thing.
Sorry, Cade. We don't give a shit about you.
Yeah. Welcome to Iowa.
Yep, welcome to Iowa.
Just forever be known as Petrus's little brother.
It's muted. And we'll just let it play. I don't know much about Mike Leach except for he's a good dude. So,
I mean, I will say Mike Leach hasn't looked the greatest in interviews this year. So Mississippi State, I think that job took a toll on him. But Sunday night, I believe it was, Mike Leach had a massive heart attack and ended up passing away, I think officially this morning and or overnight, depending on sources. Right. There was a lot of people that had him dead yesterday afternoon. Unfortunately, that was incorrect. But, nonetheless, 61 years old and a college football treasure.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You can find them all over. Not difficult to find quotes from Mike Leach, montages, basically memorandums, for him today. Highly recommend. A lot of rambling does go on with Leach, but a lot of gold comes out of that man's mouth.
A lot of gold.
And just conversations with people. The man, from everything that I can read, nobody was a stranger to him.
No.
And he wasn't afraid to give anyone advice first time he met him, and all in a very witty, dry humor type of way. So will be sorely missed in the world of college football and in the Twitter world, just because his bites were second to none. So RIP to Mike Leach, and prayers to his family.
Absolutely. You said it fantastically. And to those other coaches and coaches out there, I was talking to the guys about this, and like heart attacks and heart disease or whatever has to be a leading cause for coaches.
Yeah.
And just take care of yourself if you can. Obviously, we know you work 1,000 hours a week. We know how stressful the job is. Take care of yourself, because it happens often, and 61 years is not old, but that is young. And so prayers out.
Yeah.
All right. College football or NFL. What do you put?
No, we're good.
You going for something?
No, we're good.
All right. I don't know if we could start it in a more aggressive manner than starting it with just Big Cock Brock is in the Niners locker room.
So this came out
Last week. Yeah.
And
This is awesome.
against the Dolphins.
Yeah, we'll talk about the
And
Dolphins.
Then continued this week with the Bucks, but it was echoed throughout the locker room. Offense, defense, coaches alike. Everyone a Purdy fan.
Debo. He definitely has balls.
Yeah.
Just love this.
So just a lot of different quotes, a lot of different reasons.
He called timeout without
Shanahan calling it.
Yeah, apparently.
So
I didn't remember that.
I don't.
Kittle, he got some cojones to him.
Yeah.
Shanahan, he's got some balls out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Forgive me for saying that.
And then, he's reportedly named a Big Cock Brock.
Yeah.
And
this was after a half a start.
And backed
or
it up.
half a game. Excuse me, not a half
Boy,
a
did
start.
he back it up, though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And it's really hype for us. Obviously, he went to Iowa State here in Iowa and Ames.
Yeah.
Everyone we know is hype. It's a really good story. Not to mention he was Mr. Irrelevant.
Right.
No, not zero Mr. Irrelevants have ever done what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's good to see, by the way, when I saw him in preseason, like
You look good.
he's a pro quarterback.
Yeah.
Like
He knows how to run an offense. He has enough moxie to have respect of guys and does it the right way. And he's not going to try to do in the NFL more than what his skill set allows for him. And he's in a very good system in order to be able to do that. That is very, very multiple with tons of studs.
With studs everywhere.
Yeah. So
Like that also helps.
Yeah.
Helps.
But yeah, and then he went out and backed it up again this week, which is huge for them. And then he beat the GOAT, Tom Brady, who his parents got tickets to the game way earlier in the season to see the game this week against the Bucks because they were playing Tom Brady, and turns out their son was starting quarterback.
Kind of cool, huh?
So good fortune there for them.
Absolutely.
And by all measures, a great family and a great leader for that team right now.
Absolutely. But back to who this quote came after, and that was the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So our theme of the week is what?
Frauds.
Fraud
Fraud or not. Yeah.
Players and teams. So overall theme, that's what we're going to get with. We'll have some other things spread in here, but fraud or not, right?
Fraud or not.
I don't need.
And here's how there's got to be a little definition involved with each of these. Each of them will be a little bit different. There's some front of the pack teams who we think may or may not think, I guess, can make a deep run in the playoffs. And there's some teams who are bottom of the pack, but we may or may not think, have a chance to make it all the way back into the playoffs. Players who have been put in positions to fail and players who have been put in positions to succeed, and whether or not there's sustainable success for them or is it sustainable failure? And our thoughts on those players. Quarterbacks will be the theme of that position.
Absolutely.
But teams that most have talked about, but some other ones we'll throw in there just to get thoughts as we get closer to playoffs and playoff races.
And really, every team we're talking about, I went through it again, every game or team is in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what we're going to get to. So I have it pulled up already for you, everybody.
Very good.
To talk about former quarterback of the Falcons.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get to that later because I don't know where it is in the whole thing. But the highest single season uncatchable, inaccurate throw percentage from clean pockets since 2017. Sadly, Carson Wentz is up there.
Yeah.
That's bad. Marcus Mariota's up there, though. And that just goes to the theme of what happens to him later. But overall, pretty funny. He's pretty bad at football. This is just more Russell Wilson dig, and it's not because he's concussed. I apologize for all that, but not playing well.
Yeah.
But this is hilarious. Brittany Griner, by the way, I can't spell. For the Merchant of Death is still a better trade than this. Russell Wilson to the Broncos. Yeah. I have a lot of Broncos fans that would agree to that.
Yeah.
Would agree to that. So we had brought it up. Oh, man. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I brought it up earlier. Raiders are now 0-4 when leading by double digits at half this season, making them statistically the biggest chokers in NFL history, which is great. Falcons fans, 28-3, it's over because they are now deemed the biggest choke artists in the NFL history. So that's good for us. We can move on now, which is good because Ritter's starting.
I think it's specifically regular season, maybe.
No, it doesn't say that.
Okay.
It just says NFL history, so we're going to go with it.
Throw that in there.
Now, when we get to Super Bowl history, they'll never not have that record.
That's fair.
But the Raiders have now lost to an ESPN analyst coaching his first NFL game, a quarterback who's been on his team for less than 48 hours and knows like 6 plays.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Raiders have given up, I believe it was like a 14, 20, 17, and 10-point leads.
Yeah.
And
That's
bad. That's just bad. Let's see. Oh,
Baker?
yeah, a little Baker action. Oh, you guys can't hear that nor see it. But in this little interview, Baker basically said, I took a gamble. I just booked a flight to L.A. Basically a couple days ago before he cleared waivers.
Yeah.
And he was signed by L.A. and starting 48 hours later, which is insane to me. And not starting, to be fair. I think what's his name?
Yeah.
Remember his name? Came in for like
He was
3 plays? Some.
yeah.
It was a token not start. I'm pretty
Right,
sure.
right.
Like, I don't know why they just wouldn't.
Right. Just do it. Pull the Band-Aid off.
Right. Okay.
Would have been a completely different game if he played the first 2 series.
Sure would have. Okay, we're done with the Rams after this, but this one had me laughing out loud, actually. Bridget Condon. I can't stop thinking about how the Rams basically Amazon Primed a quarterback for the game last night.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Pays to have Prime.
Oh, sure does. That was a good one. That wasn't a good one. This is different for the NFL to do. This is mightily aggressive, in my opinion.
Yeah, but they're sending a message.
And they are, and I it's aggressive, and I love it at the same time. I don't as a defender, but overall I do. Adam Schefter tweeted, NFL fined the Saints $350,000, the head coach, $100,000, co-defense coordinator, because they have a co, which is stupid. The Saints are stupid. Ryan Nelson, $50,000, and then Cam Jordan, $50,000 for what the league felt was Jordan faking an injury and taking a knee in the Monday night game.
Yeah. In this specific scenario, I mean, it's hard to tell. Like, you see the knee in the Monday night game, and it is what it is. But this, what you're going to see down on the screen now in the Bengals game is an obvious fake. Cam Jordan ended up having an MRI on his issue, but right here, these two guys are running in the field. Coach tells him to go down. 30 falls down, starts holding, my hamstring. Quickly moves to an ankle, then maybe a calf stretch, and off the field we go with no visible limp and no injury report.
And in the game,
so
immediately
that
after.
Would deserve a fine. I hope that got fined. I didn't see anything on that, but they're going to get blowback from Cam Jordan and already have, simply because he did sustain an injury and he can prove it. So my guess is that will get lessened and or removed.
And then applied heavily to the Bengals. Absolutely.
The problem is, if you can get your ass off the field, get your ass off the field.
Correct.
And I think that was more the thing is like, could he have gotten off the field?
Yeah.
The answer is probably yes.
Now, have defenders, when you're getting no huddled to death, have we maybe been too tired? Absolutely. Absolutely is part of it.
Yeah.
Now, the difference here is that that wasn't the case. They just wanted to sub for the Cincinnati Bengals
without taking
a timeout.
Yeah.
When you're getting no huddled to death, actually, fatigue is an injury, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Mental.
Yeah.
A mental one.
I'm not saying we've ever done that on purpose.
Wouldn't take a dive.
I've never kicked my own teammate in the shin. Just go down. You're hurt. That's never happened. So
you're not hurt. You're about to be hurt.
You're about to be hurt. You better get your ass down. All right, back to I will always put up Saints and Bucks getting their ass destroyed. I will always
do it.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. So, Falcoholic, of course I follow them.
Yeah.
Buccaneers are like the opposite of a horror movie villain. Every time you think they're going in for the kill, they fall down a flight of stairs backwards.
Yeah, that's fair.
And this I watched, I don't know what I was watching. All I know is I tuned in is specifically at this play. And this is when I was like, oh. Brock's
slanging
that thing.
Yeah.
Because this ball, first of all, getting pressured, is put where it has to be.
Oh.
Now, he could have probably put it inside if he wanted to, but this was phenomenal.
Dime.
I loved every part of that.
Threw it to a pretty good player, too.
Now, I'm not understanding why when this player, specifically McCaffrey, if you guys don't know, is lined up out here as a running back, that this guy...
Did you see the route, though?
Did you see where his eyes were?
Yeah. Did you see what he was trying to do? He's trying to take advantage of a rookie quarterback. Because Purdy's staring him down.
He's already...
Yeah, but watch McCaffrey's...
He already
Watch what McCaffrey did from the beginning, though. Because it's 3rd and 5. You got to remember, it's third down and 5.
Oh, I'm going to run a slant. Nope.
McCaffrey stemmed him. He stuttered the slant. Purdy stared down the slant, and they beat him. And
I love it because that's swagger.
Like, that's Diggs getting beat from the Cowboys. Like, I mean, that's just anybody who's a little bit more aggressive, trying to take advantage of a young quarterback who he didn't think had the balls to throw the ball over the top on 3rd and 5.
And guess what?
Boom.
Purdy does. All right. Well, this tweet basically sums up the season for the Broncos. By the way, this is when this is a blowout, right? We're all thinking, but this is funny. This is just stiff arm. Oh, on the ground. I'm going.
Here you
go. Just I've been seeing this year a lot more plays by DNs picking the ball off, not swatting it.
Right.
A lot more this year. I wonder if they've done some training starting to coach to, as opposed to just hitting the ball down. So that's very interesting. But the Broncos are still bad at
Well, I mean, ultimately, if you think about it, like block shots in basketball and stuff like that, like swatting down should not be taught. Like, your highest point is your highest point, which is when your arms are straight up in the air and you're at your top of your leap.
Mm-hmm.
So as a defensive end, linebacker, anyone that's coming to the face, at no point should you ever, unless you're literally getting ready to take the quarterback down, should your arms ever come down, because it's never going to be at your highest point. So if you start to go through that process and like,
and then just try to catch it.
right. And then,
What's the worst that happens? You deflect it?
Like, well, that, and you're going to have a better chance at catching, even if you hit it here, like, you're not coming down. The ball's not going to, it's going to pop up in the air. And as a defender, that's all you ever want to do is just get the ball up in the air so you can catch it. Make a play.
Drill.
Make a play.
You're not wrong. Make a play. Make a damn
football,
play.
the microphone, it don't matter.
Right, don't matter. Warren Sharp, starting 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, played so well in blowing out Tom Brady's Bucks for 35-7. Kyle Shanahan sat him with 8 minutes remaining. Now,
Just to keep him healthy.
Brock did get an MRI today on an oblique.
It's fine.
So, but he did play the entire game except for those things.
That's why abs are
But
overrated.
could you imagine writing that sentence in September?
Yeah, you know. Mm-hmm.
Stuckey. Bengals Ravens season finale for division going to be interesting. Winner would likely host Miami, and loser would likely go to Tennessee. Prefer to lose? Now this is a little primer for the playoffs.
Yeah.
This conversation, but
Also a little primer for the fraud conversation.
I know who I'm taking.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Huh?
Yeah. Would you likely host Miami or go to Tennessee?
I mean, if I'm the Ravens and my run defense is good, I'm hosting Tennessee.
I'm not afraid of anything they can do in the air.
Now,
Ultimately, these two teams should not care.
right. You need to be able to beat both of those teams. But
Does not matter.
the Ravens have bigger things to worry about with quarterback.
Here we go. Here we go again.
Be prepared to watch the worst call in the NFL history. 3rd and 25. First down, Chargers. First down, Chargers. First down, Chargers. You say, what? But he sacked him. And then he put his arms down and landed on him real soft. And then he celebrated. Oh, did he get called for taunting? No, he got called for roughing the damn passer. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
What else is he supposed to do? What else is happening here?
The guy in the white hat doesn't even throw a damn flag right away. He waits. Because it's the head official who throws the flag here.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom of your screen on the
He's
left.
good.
No flag
Nothing.
out. Post it.
Nowhere near.
At some point now, the flag comes out. First down, Chargers. On it's 3rd and 9. Excuse me. It would have been 4th and 20.
He hit him too hard.
He called forcible landing or whatever the hell
Which is
stupid
such a
ass rule that is.
But it's not
But
because
watch him put his hands down.
out.
Puts his hands down. Both of them. From the other side, he puts his other hand down.
You can't forcibly put all your weight. Well, I mean, you actually can't
Yeah.
put all your weight on somebody with your hands out, but like that's what they're taught.
He
His
hit the
hands are-
lineman harder than he hit the quarterback. The other guy laying on the ground that he ran through.
Oh, roughing the passers are going to be the death.
Oh.
The death of me.
So, yeah, that's, I don't know. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's just hot garbage.
Oh, shit, talkies. Too many buttons. Travis Kelce's the first tight end. Thank you, Bill Barnwell. Age 33 or older to make it over 1,000 yards receiving since 1965. That was crazy.
I want to know what tight end in 1965 got 1,000 yards.
They don't throw the ball.
Right.
One guy.
I mean, yeah, I don't even know who that would possibly be.
This one, though, going back to the roughing the passer.
Yeah.
I love this take.
Yeah, McAfee nailed it.
It's a great take. I mean, I think there needs to be more, but this is a very flat, easy transition to everything that the rules are.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee, if the roughing the passer call is on a failed 3rd down before an obvious punt situation, it should be reviewable.
Here's the problem. We need to define obvious punt situation.
Correct. I think it just should be on 3rd down.
Yeah, period.
And that's just a step. There's a lot of more steps,
Yeah.
but this would be a very easy implementation,
Yep.
in my opinion. Should be reviewable. It's effectively and actually a turnover. All turnovers are reviewed.
Right. It's a turnover on downs, like we literally call it.
We literally called that. Boom. We got a piece of it figured out.
Yeah.
That's an easy implementation, I think, the NFL should do next season, because this is getting absolutely ridiculous. Has cost multiple teams, multiple games. Oh, what is this one? What is this?
Same thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Pick up the flag.
Pick up the flag.
Yeah, it's over and over again.
So I'm buzzed down.
I was.
But, which is a great transition, because I don't know if you guys saw this. This is
old school.
This
right
is
here.
the hardest you can legally hit a quarterback and it not be a flag.
Huh? I've just cut him in half.
Don't land on him, though. Take out the knee of the team.
Yeah.
Hurt someone else, but don't take out the quarterback. But
I mean, just destroyed him. I mean, Mike White literally went to the hospital after the game for internal injuries
because of that.
Because of that hit.
Oh, I saw that live, and I was so excited. So excited. Actually, I was.
Oh, wait, 15 yards.
Yep, that's exactly.
15 yards. 15.
Don't touch quarterbacks
15.
except for in this scenario.
Watch out for the gut punch underneath the
Oh,
table.
my Lord.
I brushed your eyebrow.
Could you
might
imagine getting
15.
hit that hard?
Nah.
The worst part
That was
is
a damn car accident, man.
It's because he stepped into it to throw.
Oh, yeah.
There was nothing he could have done.
Dude,
Good for him.
Mike White.
Came back.
He's on my Warrior list.
Came back in the game. They should have won.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him. And then this. And then this. What? So we've shown you 2 roughing the passers.
Yeah.
Well, 3 technically.
Well,
3
right.
potentials.
Right.
One was called. One should never have been called. It was just the greatest hit on the quarterback.
I mean, the Mike White hit was completely legal as he released the ball and hit him in the midsection.
Was this called?
I don't know. I don't care. It's Brady.
It was not.
Yeah, that's just great.
But I love it.
And it's the MJ glove. Give him the choke slam.
Choked the shit.
Did he go to the ground on this play?
I don't know.
My guess is no.
Probably not. It probably was just a hit.
Yeah, like it just happened to catch at the right time.
But I love it.
But it looks like he's about to just pick him up by the neck and throw him
out of
down.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I don't think that's what happened.
No, but I want someone. Yeah. I want someone to do it.
Complete that for me, like the finish him. Yeah. Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Tweet.
Finish him. Finish him. The greatest catch that wasn't a catch.
I mean, it is a really good catch. Don't get me wrong.
It's not the greatest. It was a good catch though.
He just casually throws an arm out there. It's the gloves.
Yeah, if you didn't fumble later, I'd have more respect. Just saying.
Well, and also, like, I just didn't understand what he was like. He kind of got pushed out of the back of the end zone. Nobody's really paying attention to where the ball is.
No,
but like, the whole play was just kind of awkward.
It really was, because it's not like he didn't have a crazy amount of momentum pushing him out.
Did 21 push him out? Like, should there have been a flag? That whole play was just kind of weird. Like,
now the best thing I think I've seen all weekend, actually, is from Nelson Aguilar. Okay, all right. So play happens, gets rocked.
Yep.
We all can see one thing. He's not
struggling to get up.
He's not doing well.
Lineman grabs him. Whoa, watch out. All right.
Not doing well.
And then, like, the thing is, he kind of gets rocked, but like nothing obvious on the hit. Like, so like from an initial, but
he can't stand. And Aguilar's losing his shit.
Yeah.
He is losing his shit. He was taking a knee. Nelson was doing everything possible.
Right.
To get someone to recognize the fact that he is concussed.
He can't even stand.
He cannot stand. Get your ass off.
He's like,
no.
He's like your mom when you did something wrong at the playground. Get your ass over here.
Right.
Like,
but
no, that's just not.
What I love about this is a teammate taking care of a teammate. Right. What I do not like is this should have been called down like immediately.
Right here, we obviously saw that. Like I said, I don't see anything immediate on the hit. But then
here,
like, what are we doing? And ultimately, somebody did buzz down. Like, I don't think. I don't think it was Aguilar that ultimately got their attention. Now I could be wrong. But
I don't either.
It
I think
looked
it was
like somebody finally did, but
because that was bad. But I love.
Would they have noticed had he not? I don't know. I think the people looking down at the field probably saw Aguilar before. But yeah, great job out of him. Saw that immediately.
T.Y. Hilton.
Big news. Gonna be honest, I did not know where
available?
or how or what T.Y. Hilton was up to before today. When he was spotted
I truly thought he was still in the Colts.
Signing for the Cowboys. So my thought was like he retired because of injuries and stuff that he's fought through, or that he was injured on someone else's roster. I didn't think he was still with the Colts because I thought I remembered him leaving them last year. But as much as OBJ has been talked about and everything like that, and he's like literally the only guy that's been talked about from a open free agent or unrestricted or unsigned free agent, excuse me. But yeah, no clue that T.Y. was even a considerable possibility. Honestly, love the pickup.
Love it. In love.
Low key, got to be nothing bad about the guy. So great locker room guy, and it fills a position that Dallas has not gotten back since they lost Cedric Wilson last year. Noah Brown's been okay, but that's not his natural position. Gallup's come back, gotten better each week, so I like what we're doing there. You can fit Noah Brown in with him, and then obviously on the other side you got CD, and Hilton just gives you another piece to that puzzle. So hope that he's healthy, hope that he's ready to go. I mean, he's been sitting out for however long now, so
that'd be good. I love
dude was a number one receiver in the NFL for a long time, so to tell me that he can't come in and be productive, I'd
be a 3.
You got to prove me wrong here,
right? I love it,
and just being able to not. I mean, he's not going to get in double teams. Like, come in and win on some short routes and beat some guys in some zero coverage when everybody's loading the box come playoff time. Yeah, I like it. I really like the ad. I like it so much better than OBJ. So.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot less baggage.
Yeah.
A lot less baggage. Okay. We're in fraudulent time.
All right.
Just about. There is one little big news about Marcus Mariota that no one cares about but I. Okay. Actually, I want to read. Yeah, I'll read this one first. So, Mariota was told on Thursday that the rookie Ritter was coming in to start because Mariota has been awful at throwing the football.
Oh.
Okay. Like, terrible.
No disagreements.
Okay. Really bad at throwing the football. So Smith informed Mariota of the decision on Thursday. The Falcons then learned on Friday that Mariota planned to step away from the team. What the?
He's injured.
Okay.
Well, maybe.
So, Jeff Schultz, Arthur Smith said the knee is nothing that has been an issue this season. But that's Mariota's prerogative. So, of course, you want all your guys to be here, but guys have to make decisions. It's part of professional.
So, who's your backup quarterback this week?
We picked up, what's his name from the Titans? I don't know him enough. Logan something. Logan.
Oh, okay. No, but he might as well be Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, he's just been in the Tennessee. He was backup for Tannehill for
very good
4 years.
Yep.
So he knows the system.
Okay.
So he's our backup.
All right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hope he doesn't have to play.
Me too.
All right.
Me too. I'm excited about Ritter. He's going to throw the ball better than Mariota, although pretty sure any quarterback in the NFL can throw better than Mariota down the field. So I'm excited to see the excitement, what could come with it.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen because the rest of the NFC. Let me squeak my chair some more.
Mm-hmm.
This is the NFC South.
This is
because it's going to make me physically ill.
Yeah.
Playoff race.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's in
Playoffs.
Someone's making it.
Oh.
Someone. Meaning someone's going to have to go and play.
At their home field?
At their home field.
Yeah.
That not good.
Ah.
This is not what I envisioned. Now I envisioned
I'm going to say these words right now. Hottest team in the NFC South is Carolina Panthers. Gross. This year we're going to go through 3 quarterbacks and trade a top 3 player in the NFL.
And a coach.
We're going to be the hottest team in the NFL. And we're going to get rid of our coach. Yeah. How about that? Cinderella story.
I tell you what.
Cinderella story.
Tell you what, and the Bucks should have lost last week, which would have been
just
great.
Leave this right here. This is where we'll. Do we have any other NFL news after this? This is where we're going to start fraud or not.
Okay.
Right here.
No, I think we had something about the Dolphins or some shit, but
no, I'm not worried about that.
This is
fraud or not, NFC South. And here's how we're going to start this.
They're all frauds.
They're all frauds.
All frauds.
However, the biggest fraud in the NFC South is
the Bucks.
Thank you. Who are winning the South? I just want people to be.
They are the biggest frauds.
But they're also the favorites to win the NFC South
because of
Tom Brady.
That's it.
Right.
Who also has been fraudulent this year.
So with 4 games left.
I'm going to look at their schedule. I got to pull up schedules for this situation.
Who
wins it?
Is the least fraudulent team in the NFC South?
So the Bucks play the Panthers and the Falcons still.
Yep. No, they get. I think every one of them still has at least 2 division games
because
left.
Ritter starts his first NFL game against the Saints.
Yeah.
The least fraudulent. Based
the
on
Bucks also have the Bengals. I know at least 1 game. I believe.
Here's how the Bucks end up: Bengals, Cardinals, Panthers, Falcons.
So
they're losing to the Bengals.
They're 1-1, and then they have 2 division games.
They're losing to the Bengals.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. They're going to beat the Cardinals. They're going to lose to the Bengals. So their 2 division games are going to determine whether or not they go to the playoffs.
Correct.
And who are the two division games?
Panthers, and then Falcons week 18.
So they've got the next 2 best teams in the division, basically, which will determine.
And the Panthers have Steelers, Lions, Bucks, Saints. Literally, week 18.
Can they go 3-1?
Week 18 could come down to the Panthers, Saints, Bucks, Falcons.
9 wins is guaranteed, but 8 wins is going to win this division.
Yeah.
Which is how fraudulent it is.
It's so bad. So bad.
And
it's the Bucks' fault.
So least fraudulent team is the Panthers because they're technically the worst team, even with the Saints.
Yeah.
However, what's the Saints' schedule? Do the Saints have any chance of going 4-0?
Well, where are they? Oh, they had a bye week. Let's see. They've got the Falcons.
Yep.
Oh, no. Falcons, Browns, Eagles, Panthers. They're going to lose the Eagles.
If the Eagles have not already clinched
Which
by
they
week
probably will.
16.
It is plausible.
It's not probable, but plausible.
Plausible that they go 4-0.
Okay.
Like, everyone's in it.
Yeah.
And it's not 8.
However, the hottest team in the NFC South right now is the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rooting for them. Sorry. You're starting a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. I don't. Where that
the Bucks are putrid, and I will not root for them.
I do not want them to win.
And I think the Saints are the best team in the division. However, they can't find a way to get over their own damn.
Andy Dalton starting this week.
Yeah. So,
I would agree. I would concur. I believe we have the best offense in the division. Just the fact is Mariota can't complete a pass, and we don't know what Ritter can.
Well, I mean, you can see points for, points against. Falcons have the best offense, worst defense. Bucks have the best defense, worst offense. Panthers are somewhere right there in the middle.
Saints are
are only 2 points away from also being right there in the middle.
Correct.
So, all of these teams are the same, all shitty. So we've confirmed they're all frauds. The only team that's not a fraud is the Panthers. Well, here, I'll say this. The Falcons and the Panthers, neither team are frauds, simply because the Falcons have already surpassed win total. and the Panthers literally are playing with the kitchen sink right now. And
they're all
doing
those
so
2 are playing with house money.
Yes.
They're house money.
So
House money.
Won't spend any more time on that unless you've got any more thoughts from that. But I wanted to start in where I thought was the shittiest spot. So there we are.
Well, you can't get lower than NFC South.
Yeah, go Panthers.
Go Falcons.
Chuba, the fighting Chuba Hubbards.
The fighting Chuba Hubbards. Love it. All right.
Next up, sticking with teams. Let's just get right into it. Pull the Band-Aid off. Minnesota Vikings.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Best team with a negative point differential
in NFL history.
-1 so far.
I've been saying it all year. Their defense is bad.
Yeah.
They're fraudulent. They're frauds. I'm not going to say their offense is. Their defense has very big issues.
And let's clarify this. They're 10-3. They're winning their division. They're not going 0-4 here on out. They only need one more win to clinch. They're going to win the NFC North. They're going to host a playoff game. How fraudulent are they?
There's a handful of matchups that I believe they'll lose in that first round because of their defense.
Who can they beat in the first round?
Anyone in the NFC South?
They don't get to play them.
I know.
NFC South gets their own. Here's your options. Commanders. Can they?
Yeah.
Giants.
Well, Giants are fraudulent. They're on the downhaul. So if the Giants get in, I believe they can beat the Giants.
Seahawks.
That's their one win.
So I mean, the problem is that all three teams that I just mentioned are also going to be on our fraud or not team list. But that's why I wanted to start with the Vikings. Yeah. Are they real enough to beat another fringe playoff / fraud or not team?
They are. They can win one
playoff game. So over under 1.5 playoff wins is an under for you for Minnesota. Yeah. It is for me as well. And to me, based on the success of their season, the number of wins they're going to end up with, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in that range, they are frauds.
They're frauds.
And they are frauds not because of Kirk Cousins.
No.
Who threw for 400-plus yards in a loss last week, but they are frauds because of their defense.
Which I didn't, beginning of the season, I would never have said those words.
Correct. So
yeah,
we are
Cousins
in agreement.
Was 31 for 41, 425 yards and 2 tutties.
And didn't turn the ball over. So, I mean, yeah. How many guys have had that stat line and lost? I bet that's a 90% win rate with a stat line like that.
Now, I will say they were down big, but 15 carries, 23 yards for Dalvin Cook. Yeah. Their run game is borderline fraudulent, but their defense is an issue, and I said it all year long, and it's going to come back and bite them. That's why they can't go deep in the playoffs. They just zero chance.
Very well. We'll stick. Let's just run through the NFC all the way first. We'll go NFC East next. 3 potential, very good potential actually at this point, teams to make the playoffs there, or excuse me, 4 potential teams to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So all 4. The Eagles are going to win the division, arguably the best team in football.
Cowboys
fraud or not on the Eagles?
Yeah.
They're good.
They're good.
Yeah.
Good football team.
Cowboys.
They're good. It's a good football team.
Don't disagree. Giants.
Frauds. Pure frauds.
I think we both agree they're headed the wrong direction.
And they look like the Giants that we thought they would.
For whatever reason, though, it's not any one thing with them. It's not just Daniel Jones. It's not just the coaching staff. It's not just the defense. It's some of the putridness you see on special teams. It's things tend to snowball in the wrong direction for the Giants. Over under half a win in the playoffs for them.
I don't think they get there.
Perfect. Exactly. So we're both in agreement there. I think they end up falling out as well. The Giants are frauds.
Pure frauds.
Moving to the matchup in the division this week, the Commanders, of which this game ended in a tie last time.
By the way,
just to tell you,
it went Giants-Commanders tie.
Yeah.
Giants go and get their ass beat. Commanders are on a bye week. They play again.
So the Commanders are like 5-1-1 in their last 7, and it's a tie against the Giants as their one tie, or like, and then I don't know who they lost to, but
no matter.
But like
the Vikings,
they're trending in opposite directions here. The question is like when they did play each other, they tied, so they both look fraudulent. The Commanders for you are
They can't be fraudulent.
they can't be fraudulent because they're not good enough.
They were supposed to be bottom of the NFC
Right.
East. So they can't be
And
fraudulent.
technically they are.
And
They're just better than all of
They're
the
just-
NFC South and the AFC South.
and half of the NFC West.
Right.
So yeah, I
Yes.
mean, yes. So they can't be fraudulent.
Right.
And I have them being the third team in from the East.
So you've got them in, and possibility of winning a playoff game against 49ers.
They would match up
or Cowboys,
the Vikings or the
Vikings.
Vikings would be the worst matchup. No, back up. Commanders would be the worst matchup for the Vikings, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't have
Well, it can't be worse than the Cowboys.
what.
The Cowboys would be the worst matchup for the Vikings.
Well, I mean, yeah, because of prior history.
Yeah.
But I think the Commanders would be due to just pure scrappiness. Obviously, the Cowboys would be because they whooped their ass. So
Okay.
that's what it is. The Niners, they're just out there for me. I mean, they're a solid squad. But
Yeah.
Commanders are not frauds. Having them in the playoffs, the Giants are the frauds.
All right. Fair enough. Let's move right over to the NFC West.
Yeah.
You got the 49ers trending in the right direction, even though it's with a backup quarterback. That defense is healthy.
Technically, it's their third string quarterback.
Correct. Well, and at 1 fourth.
And at 1 fourth.
yes, so-
and their backup is the greatest journeyman in the history of NFL.
Yes,
So
indeed. So, never a doubt.
never a doubt.
But they 49ers look good. They look like a top 3 NFC team, top 5, 6 NFL team overall, just depending on where you want to slot them based on
losing Debo hurts.
ultimately having Debo out the last few weeks of the season. High ankle sprain, though. Good news, he's not out long term.
Because boy, did that look like
Yeah, it looked like a broken
that
leg.
looked like a lot of things.
And so they're going to win the NFC West, finish in that 2 or 3 spot overall, depending on how the Vikings finish. I think they'll finish 2, and the Vikings will finish 3rd. That's just kind of how I see things playing out based on our conversations as well. We think the 49ers are for real. Seahawks, they are doing what the Giants are doing, and that's kind of where I go back and forth is the Giants. I can't pinpoint it. The Seahawks I can pinpoint. Their run defense is
Atrocious.
terrible.
Like just really, really bad.
And so they get the 49ers this week, which we'll get into, but 49ers run the ball really well last I checked. And they have a guy that knows how to game plan to run the ball. That game's in Seattle.
The only thing is I can't call him fraudulent because I had him 4th
Correct.
in the NFC West.
So they're not fraudulent.
They're overproducing what I thought they would this year.
And Gino's been more than
Now,
sufficient as
If
quarterback.
based upon the year of play,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they are.
But they're less fraudulent than the Giants, in my opinion, as far as ability to do something on the offensive side of the ball that may be able to offset
The Giants just
extremely leaky run
there's
defense.
no issue. Like there should be no issue.
Right. Seahawks are going to make the playoffs, though, I believe. Who do they play the last 4 weeks? That's going to make a difference.
Well, we know who they play.
Because they're not going to win this week.
No.
And they need to win 2 more games, in my opinion, to be in.
They play on Saturday. By the way, there's Saturday football.
Yes, there is.
Everyone to know that.
A lot of it. 4 games, I believe.
Yep, it's great. Seattle. Last 4. Niners, Chiefs, Jets, Rams.
Got to win. Got to win 2 out of 4.
Not great. At Chiefs, they'll lose that one.
Yeah.
They have to beat the Jets and the Rams to get in.
Yep.
Which,
Very possible.
very possible.
So, yeah, I'm going to have the Seahawks sneaking in as the last playoff team. They will then
I like
get
that.
a new date with 49ers. We'll get into that a little bit later with the playoff machine. But I'm not going with fraudulent because they've been better than I thought. I didn't think that their run defense could ever get this bad, though, being in a Pete Carroll system.
I didn't either, but
It's baffling.
it's really bad.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if they've had – I don't follow the Seahawks close enough to know if they've had injuries that have caused this. I know they've been consistently bad throughout, but, like, they've been really good at times as well, so I don't know.
I got nothing.
what
I know
that
we
is.
ran all over them early in the season, so I don't think the run defense has changed. I think overall defense has improved, but I think the run defense is still not.
Any chance you see anyone like a Packers team making a late run? They're fraudulent, in my opinion, to the point where they're not good enough to make a run. really that's about the only other team. So you're going to have a Seahawks, Giants, and if a team like the Packers or two teams from the NFC South happen to go 3-1 that might be able to sneak in, I don't see it. None of those teams have showed me any indication that they can win 3 out of 4 games.
0.
Which is what they would need to do in order to even be
In the
whereas
conversation.
all of the teams that are in the conversation can go 2-2 or 1-3 and still be in the conversation. So that's why I would definitely give the edge there.
Now the crazy thing is the NFC, and we'll get to it in the playoffs, but it's very close to being absolute chaos too.
Yeah, 100%.
We're not. The Vikings can lose out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know their schedule, but realistically, they can go 1-3.
Oh yeah.
The Cowboys could. I don't see the Eagles at worst could go 2-2. Like,
If the
pure
Vikings
chaos
go
is still
1-3,
on the
their
schedule.
worst seed is the 3.
I know, but I'm saying that causes pure chaos for the rest.
Oh, 100%.
So like, chaos is not off the table for the NFC at all. It's all
and it'll be
there.
interesting to see. We talked about one scenario already, is playoff positioning based on knowing matchups for the top 4 and how those wild card teams decide to play their last couple of weeks, knowing that a loss might be more valuable to a win
And
in their mind.
as crazy as this may sound,
Mm-hmm.
it literally may come down to, because there's 2 NFC South games at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It might come down to those 2 as one of those scenarios that someone played for.
Yeah.
Which is nauseating.
Yeah.
This is going to make me physically
The
ill.
NFC South has so much power right now in the playoffs, and they're putrid.
Yep.
They're gonna go one and done.
Right.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they won the first round
Right.
and got hot.
Yeah.
And it won't be.
They're not getting hot.
By hot, I mean in their
One game.
Yeah, one game's
Not
hot.
2 in a row for damn sure. No,
And
you got to
NFC
win at
South
least
is-
2 in the NFL to get hot.
Right. They'll probably win week 18 to get in, and then win again. That's 2 in a row.
That's 2 in a row.
That's 2 in a row. It's hot.
Win one more, we got a winning streak.
Whoa, hey, it's NFC South. We don't do
Well,
those.
let's switch over from the NFC South to the almost as putrid AFC South.
Oh my lord.
So we have the division leading Titans. We have the bottom dwelling, worst in the league Texans. And you have the Colts, who are out of it. And you have the up-and-coming Jaguars. The 2 teams we're going to talk about here are the Jaguars and the Titans. Let's start with the Titans. Fraud or not?
This is the toughest fraud or not for me. It's because like their record's probably where I would have them.
The
Because
8-4, 8-5.
Why is it? Why is it? Oh, they're 7-6.
7-6. Okay.
I would have them 8-5. But I would have the Colts battling with them. So from that perspective, not.
Right.
But they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And they've
looked bad doing it.
They looked really bad doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They can't run the ball. They can't throw the ball.
Right.
They can't really stop people. I mean, their defense is the highlight of their team.
Right.
They can't do anything offensively. And that's what's like, how can you not? You have weapons. So that's why it's like very borderline fraudulent to me. But I will say that they are frauds because they don't have the 8 wins. They have the 7.
Yeah.
Where I would have predicted them to be at this point. Not to mention they should have ran away with this division. This division is horrid.
Yeah.
And they just never taken advantage of it. And guess what? Now you put yourself in a situation where you're not even favorites this week against the Chargers.
Yeah.
So here you are. The AFC South is, I'm not going to say it's up for grabs, but there's an issue.
So here's this perfect segue conversation. So the Jaguars are fresh off a 2-touchdown victory against the Titans, and they're 5-8 now. Trevor Lawrence the last 3 weeks is number 1 rated quarterback in the NFL.
Fuego.
In the NFL. Has Trevor Lawrence arrived? We'll talk about that a little bit later. The Jaguars have pieces, have a ton of young talent from the drafts, seemingly putting it together at the right time. The Jaguars have the Cowboys, the Jets, the Texans, and they get a season finale against the Titans. They can very realistically go 3-1, if not 4-0 in that scenario.
Now, the Titans have Chargers, Texans, Cowboys, and then Jags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is 8-9 does not get you in to the AFC playoffs.
Unless you win your division.
Unless the Titans
basically only beat
go
1-3.
Which they're going to play the Texans. And they're going to play
the Chargers, Cowboys.
Oh.
Actually.
That game.
They could lose to the Chargers. I can see that. The Texans is probably a victory.
That gets
Cowboys is a loss, and then it's a winner.
That's what I said. That gets them to 8.
It's a winner in.
That's a week 17.
As long as the Jags win out.
As long as the Jags go 3-1. The Jags can lose this week to the Cowboys, win their final 3.
Week 18 could be so exciting
because they would
across
own
the board.
2 wins against the Titans. They would win the tiebreaker to win the AFC South, potentially making both the NFC and AFC South champions.
Trash.
8-9.
And just pure
and
trash.
the 4 seed hosting a home game.
And they'll probably go to the championship game. Just cuss. Why not?
That's a team I can see with more possibility of getting hot
than anyone in the NFC South.
And it's not close.
No. You kidding me? You could put all 4 of the rosters
again,
in the NFC South together.
Jacksonville, fraud or not, definitely not a fraud.
No.
I think we just had an agreement on the conversation of Tennessee is a fraud compared to they were expected to be a lock. They are not delivering and appear to be
dwindling hard.
Yes. I would have a better time going over 1 playoff win for Jacksonville better than I would for Tennessee. However, Tennessee is very much a matchup team.
Correct.
So depending on who would be coming their way as the 5 seed.
I promise you they don't match up well at the Chargers this week.
Right. Yeah.
So
that division yet to be said. Titans are frauds. Jaguars, we are rooting.
It'd be so fun.
So hard for them to pull out. As much as we're rooting against how terrible the NFC South is, just in general, we're rooting for somehow the Jags to make the AFC South just as bad. But in a more enjoyable way.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, it's because it's like they're trying to lift the
division. Right.
Everyone in the NFC South is trying to bring it down.
That's fair. That is completely fair.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jump to AFC North.
The North. Okay.
We've got the division leading Bengals.
I love the Bengals.
They're going to run away with that. They're looking the right way. We both agree they are not fraudulent. They have fixed problems on the offensive line, and they have fixed problems on the defense, and they are looking every bit of a top 3 AFC team, if not
They're actually tied with the Ravens.
3 overall team.
By the way.
Yes, but
semantics.
That'll be our next team.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get right to the Ravens, who are quarterback injured, but also have lost 2, if not 3 games that they just gave away this year because their secondary is anemic.
Oh, my Lord. You're
fraudulent at this point.
Their back end is bad.
But
they have been all year, though.
They're scary, but fraudulent.
Yeah.
Because they should be better than what they are.
Mm-hmm. The front 7's solid.
We don't know Lamar Jackson's status. We don't know even if Hundley's going to play this weekend.
Which is insane.
So the concussion protocol.
To me, I don't think. Who
do they have in the season? The Ravens?
At Browns, home against the Falcons, home against the Steelers, at Bengals. Although I think the Bengals game, the Bengals might not play anybody. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
no.
9-4, they're in the race with the Bengals.
Right.
So,
but I mean, we're both taking the Bengals to win that division.
Absolutely. The Ravens get in, I believe. Obviously, they can.
Yeah, they'll get in.
I just don't. It's the Huntley injury that bothers me. I don't know nothing about the Lamar one. It's his knee, but like
knee. Yeah, I mean, nobody knows. That's the problem.
And that's the problem. So let's just wipe him out for the to the playoffs or season. I don't care. It's the Huntley injury that's the problem.
Because if he doesn't play, they're really done.
If he doesn't play this week against the Browns, they lose to the Browns.
I mean, do they though? The Browns are.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, but it's at the Browns. It'll be a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Some sloppy something and weather related.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Eve against the Falcons. I just don't know.
Right.
We don't know enough about Ritter yet to even think if the Falcons are competitive.
Right.
Now, if he does like 2 passes better than Mariota per game, which is
if
low
he
bar,
can't be more competitive, that was a bad draft.
Then we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose out, and we're gonna go get Williams or Stroud or somebody, right?
Fair enough.
And if they are, then that game is gonna be closer than.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens are gonna grind it out the rest of the year.
Ravens are making the playoffs though.
Oh yeah, they're making the playoffs, but they have to grind these last 4 out.
I don't think the Ravens win a playoff game.
I don't think they can, unless Lamar is healthy. And
man, playoffs is about closing, and that team has been fraudulent in the closing department.
Correct, but there's something about the Ravens in the playoffs and Harbaugh, and they've got a kicker who won't miss kicks. So they will be in it.
They have the ultimate closer, and they suck at closing. Explain that to me.
I know. I'm just saying, like, if you have to grind these next 4 games out like that, and Lamar's not healthy, I think it just takes a toll at the end of that.
That's fair.
I don't think the Browns can throw at them. The Falcons, we don't know. The Steelers will throw, and the Bengals will throw.
All right, but I mean, the Steelers can throw, but not good enough to win. But that game will be low scoring as well.
But Ravens will be in.
All right. Let's get to AFC East. Probably the most interesting overall division. You've got the division leading Bills.
Fraudulent in your eyes because you had them at 15 wins.
Hey, you've got the
hell out of here.
But I mean,
8-5.
Are
Dolphins?
they fraudulent though? In any way?
They're weaker than I thought.
They're weak,
but not
fraudulent.
That's
their defense got hurt. That hurt them a lot. Josh Allen just hasn't taken care of the football.
No,
which he needs to do.
But he's getting healthy.
He needs to secure it.
His elbow's getting healthy,
right,
so
they need
that's
to get better.
Scary.
We both think they're going to win that division.
Yep.
The Dolphins.
So let's just jump to the team that I don't think are frauds, but are still outperforming, and that's the Jets. They're not frauds to me because I didn't have them doing anything. They're sitting exactly where I thought they would.
But if Mike White can't play, they're out.
Oh, they're out. I don't think they can in the playoffs. I'm just saying, like,
if Flacco has to, but if Mike White plays, they're not out.
No, I like him with Mike White.
Yeah,
he just has like.
So not frauds. We agree that the Jets aren't frauds.
No, and I'm rooting for them.
Right, and they were.
The Patriots are. The thing is, like,
more fraudulent. The Jets or the Patriots.
The Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots.
Teams trending somewhat opposite directions. The Jets were hot at the beginning of the year, so it was like, do you believe in what the Jets are doing? And ultimately the answer was yes, but then you have the Zach Wilson issue. But then they were fine when Mike White came in. Now Mike White's it's more of a, if Mike White has been the guy all year, they might even be in a little bit better position. Now he's hurt. Offensive line.
The Patriots are
issue
because I don't know what to do with
their
them.
offense is fraudulent.
I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, they can't. But do you want to play the Patriots in the playoffs?
No, you never want to play the Patriots.
Are the Patriots going to make the playoffs?
I don't have them making the playoffs. I haven't beginning of the year, and I still don't. I still don't.
Okay.
It's not as high as.
We'll take a look at that later too on chances and stuff. But
the Dolphins.
Yep.
That's the team.
That's the big fraud or not. So Minnesota's the big fraud or not in the NFC, AFC to me.
It's Dolphins.
It's the Dolphins. Fraud or not.
Man, they are all over the damn place. Now, the only reason we're talking about it is because Tua's played.
Worst 2 games, last 2 games.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason they're in this situation. Now, they do have they're 8-5, sitting fairly pretty for, a wild card spot. So
who do they play in the next 4?
They have
needing basically 2 wins to get in the playoffs.
Bills on Saturday.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that one. It was just a fun one to watch on Saturday.
Yeah.
Packers, Patriots, Jets.
Got to go 2-2. Got to find a way to go 2-2.
They go 2-2. They're in.
I just what I love about just what we've heard as far as teams playing division games at the end of the year that matter, and the NFL sets it up that way, and they've done a really good job this year. Obviously, it comes to light more when you have teams that are more competitive, to be nice.
Hey, the NFC South's competitive against each other.
Correct. Hey, and that ultimately that's what's going to matter because that's what's going to bring the entertainment. Is like, it doesn't matter how shitty we are, we're playing for something at the end of the year. And most of these teams, whether it be seeding or a playoff bid with 7 on each side now, are going to be playing for something at the end of the year, even though we've added games to the postseason. And ultimately, that's what the NFL wants.
Right.
And that's what we as fans hope for. Absolutely. Even when we're not rooting for our teams, we're rooting for a game where the best guys in the world are trying to rip each other's heads off to get to a playoffs. Because in the playoffs, as we know, we've seen teams all the time. Everybody just wants a chance. Just give me a chance to get in.
And then
we're all professionals. Right. Like, injuries are going to happen during games, whatever. Give me a chance. Right. And we've seen those teams. The Seahawks several years ago, you had the Marshawn run. Yeah. Against the Saints. Both the New York Giant teams that have made runs. Oh my God.
This is going to make me physically ill.
Couldn't even hardly say it without passing out. Right. But yeah, you got to give teams a chance. As much as we want to sit here and say how these teams have no chance, unfortunately, we've been proven wrong. Like, the past has proved us wrong. So, but that's where we're at.
So do you have the Patriots getting in?
I don't think that the Patriots.
They finish at Raiders, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills.
No. So they won't get in. But the bigger thing with that is the Dolphins, to me, have gone from a team that got no respect into a didn't get respect, and then he got too much respect too fast, and now there's everything's somewhere in between. Yeah. Do I think that they stay competitive? Yes. Are they fraudulent? Yes, as a front runner.
I agree.
Because when they got to 8-3, they got moved into the tier with the Cowboys, the Bills.
They were up there.
They're not in that tier. They're in the Vikings tier, which is one tier below. You can win a playoff game.
You're winning one playoff game.
You can't win multiple.
Correct.
So I will call that fraudulent.
That's fair.
From what the expectation was 2 weeks ago.
It's very valid.
To what they probably think is a team, which I hope that they have confidence in themselves. I don't think they can hold up overall.
Nope. Agree.
And last division, AFC West, you've got the Chiefs.
And everyone else.
Yeah. Everybody else is a fraud.
They're all fraudulent.
Well,
based upon...
Here's the thing. What's the Chargers record right now?
7-6. They play Titans, Colts, Rams. They can go 3-1 and get to 10.
They're in the playoffs
easily, and debatably they can go 4-0 because they have the Titans.
So here's my thing with the Chargers is
they can backdoor this thing.
Fraudulent?
They don't ever backdoor anything.
They're not fraudulent because we expect them to suck.
No, they're fraudulent for this whole division is fraudulent.
The whole division is fraudulent, correct? Including the Chiefs in some ways.
Including the Chiefs from the beginning, from the start of the year situation.
But you have the Raiders who have done all of the things we showed today, and then you have the Broncos saying, "No, hold both my beers."
Yeah,
and they've done their whole thing,
all of the beers.
And then you have the Chargers who have done Chargers things, but somehow have gotten to 7-6
because the Chargers are the Chargers,
right? And then you have the Chiefs who have overperformed yet underwhelmed,
correct?
In some of the games where you'd expect them to overperform. So the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They're come playoff time, they flip a switch.
Really, the Chiefs and the Chiefs and the Chargers are the Chiefs and the Chargers.
Right.
They're doing what they do.
But the Chargers are 7-6, and most years the Chargers doing the same thing would be like 5-7.
Correct.
5-8. So
they
flipped the script a little bit.
They have a legit shot of getting 10 wins, and if they get 10 wins, they're in.
Can they beat the?
All they have to do.
Can they beat the Jaguars, Chargers,
Titans, Colts, Rams, Broncos?
Can they beat the Jaguars or the Titans in the playoffs?
Well, if they beat the Titans once.
Absolutely, 100% they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, those are the matchups we're going to be looking at no, they're not fraudulent, and they're going to get healthier on defense.
Sure are. And their offense
three of their
playing
top
well.
4 defensive players.
Getting back to, I think,
and
probably
2 of
healthy
their best 3
and hot.
receivers got back. That's a scary thought to not call them fraudulent.
It's a scary team.
I'm saying.
They can be a scary team.
I wouldn't have thought 2 weeks ago, I would not have said that the Dolphins are fraudulent and the Chargers are not. But here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Here we are.
All right.
Week 15.
Fraud or not players. This list is a lot smaller. But let's start right here.
Yeah.
Herbert, fraud or not?
He is what he is.
Stat stuffer or not?
Oh, yeah.
Stat stuffer, but not a fraud.
Not a fraud.
All right. That's fair.
No,
I can go with that.
I can't give a top 15
Tua.
quarterback a fraud button.
Right.
My case is still out for Tua. He got hot. Everyone loved him.
Yeah.
But he's never been good.
But his downside is his downside. He can't do what he can't do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll bring up Purdy. You know, we're a game and a half in, and it's not a fraud or not thing. It's a, can my coach put me in the best position to win, which the Dolphins have done a lot of with Tua, and he has the weapons.
Yeah.
Same thing with Purdy. He has the weapons. So those guys are fraudulent when they're made to do things they're not capable of doing. Now, Tua has just straight up missed throws the last 2 weeks.
Yes. And
there's nothing that's
suspect.
not fraudulent about that.
Right.
Now, you can call whatever it is, whether it's some type of injury we're not
talking
aware
about
of or whatever.
training camp throw balls that we're looking at.
So at this point, I have to go fraud for Tua. And Herbert, stat stuffer, but also a stud.
I mean, he's a stat stuffer.
The dude can make the throws. And I have said he's a social media darling and all of those things. And there's a lot of things where the stat stuffing has come in, but he plays for the Chargers. So there's a lot to overcome there. I'll walk it back a little bit.
But going with Tua, fraudulent.
Tua's a fraud. Non-playoff winning fraud.
Okay.
Cousins, we talked about.
Yeah.
Not a fraud.
He's not fraud.
Guy shows up. He's showed up, and I think he's showed us that he can win primetime a little bit this year.
Yeah, little bit.
I mean,
that's a little bit.
We talked about their defense being more of the issue there. I mean, that would be
defense.
More what's causing
he's
more of
balling
that.
Out this year.
Rodgers.
He might as well. Him and Brady.
Yeah, we'll put them both in the
pasture. Take them out to pasture.
We can't call them frauds. Too good of football players, too good at careers to call them frauds.
You can't call Hall of Famers frauds.
But going into this year, you got
they're terrible.
Lamb in sheep's clothing from both of them is what you got.
Yeah. These two need to retire.
Yeah. I mean, their teams are not good, but they are also not helping their teams win like they normally do.
I don't think the Bucs on from a roster standpoint are bad.
No.
Their defense is solid.
Mm-hmm.
They've got skills set across the board on offense. Now their O-line is bad, but
injured. They're depleted.
Yeah, they're just injured to hell. He's had worse on offense.
Yeah.
So that's on Brady to me, and he's not looked good.
No, I'm
not at all. He also looks 30 pounds lighter.
Let's throw. So we've got Brady, Rodgers, Russell.
Oh, they all should retire. Done. Okay. Game over.
Just retire.
I'm done with them.
Right. They've all been too good in their careers to be called frauds.
Yes.
They've done too much for the game. They've done too much for their teams.
Which is why I can't call them frauds.
Championships. But
because they got to retire. They're
done.
They're done. Done.
So these are just fried eggs.
These are
just
yep.
Let them out to pasture.
And the only thing, I mean, the Bucs are fine from a.
There's plenty of studs coming in. Let's let the old guard out to pasture.
And the good thing for the Bucs is contractually they're set up better. They have an old offense, but from a team standpoint, they're set up better because the Broncos have that contract and no picks,
right?
And the Packers have that contract.
Yeah.
There's a report that came out that Love said.
I'd hate to forget Matt Ryan also needs to go with them.
Oh, he's already retired.
That's just he needed to retire.
He already retired in my brain,
it's
already. Yeah. He's got to
set him out to pasture.
But I think everyone agrees with that.
Yep.
Right. Which is sad because the Colts, going into it on paper, set up so well. That offensive line is atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
But back to it. Reports that says if Rodgers comes back, that Love is requesting trade out,
which 100% he should at this point.
Absolutely.
It's gone too far.
Yeah,
and he played well when he got in, and then
I also don't know why they didn't keep playing him.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
But yeah,
last couple here. Geno Smith.
Oh boy.
And this is going to be, to me, one of the more legitimate ones. Is we've seen Geno in a backup role. Now we've seen Geno start and lead a team that didn't have very high ceiling. From a fraudulent perspective, it's not so much this year in my mind, but do you see Geno, is he a fraud from being a career starter? Can he give you 5 more good years in Seattle?
Ooh, that's a deep question.
Non-injury pending. I think Seattle's going to have.
I think he turned a corner this year. The way he's been throwing it and his accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's obviously last couple games, but truthfully, it's the Seahawks run defense that has been the issue, which makes him throw more, and he's not a 35 plus guy.
And they're on their 5th string running back. Right now.
They legitimately their 5th string.
Mm-hmm. Like they brought a guy off the practice squad and signed a guy who was never even on the team this week because their top 4 guys, 2 are completely done for the season, and the other 2 are multiple week injuries.
Correct. So, like, you got that.
Right.
But no, I think he took a step up, in my opinion, with his accuracy and his ability to game manage.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ask him to throw 35 plus.
Right.
He's a 20 to 30 guy. And if they can do that, they can win, and he easily can play 5 more years.
They're going to have a top 5 draft pick this year. Are you drafting a quarterback knowing that Geno is your franchise quarterback?
Who's their backup? Isn't it the old Broncos guy?
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? He's so bad I don't remember his name.
Oh, I can see him playing his
Lock.
Drew Lock. So you have a backup who has had minimal success in the NFL, but is enough of an athlete. And
I do. I draft a quarterback if I'm them.
So in my opinion, you saying that means that you think Geno Smith is a fraud.
I don't know, because I'm under the opinion that quarterbacks should also sit for a couple of years. Let him sit behind Geno.
Geno's not that old.
I don't care.
Geno's got 5 to 7 years left.
That's fine.
You want a Jordan Love a guy. I'm not talking about the 20th pick in the first round. I'm talking about you have a top 5 pick in the NFL draft.
Don't they have 2?
You have a they might. But I'm talking about with that Broncos pick that they're going to get, because the Broncos are going to finish bottom 3 to 5 in the league. You have Geno Smith as your quarterback right now, who has proven to be one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL this year. Are you taking an impact defensive lineman, guy from Alabama, guy from Georgia, that's going to come in right now and make a difference? I don't know if they need no lineman. I don't like whatever
they need something on defense.
They need something on defense to stop the run, whether that be a linebacker, a middle stuffer.
I mean,
you're still.
I don't know where.
I'm not that sold on any of the quarterbacks.
I don't know what the other draft picks are, personally.
Right.
But why not do if they have 2 or even a high second round?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easily go defense and then go get your quarterback. Quarterback's gonna be there.
Right, but I don't. If they only had 1 pick in the whole draft and it was the number 3 pick in the draft, let's call it that. It's not going to be number 1. Are you drafting a quarterback?
Well, I'm trading down to like 10, get into defense and
2.
get back in personally. But
GM Soy Hall.
That's what
you guys getting. Thank you.
That's how you do it.
Thank you, Broncos.
Yeah, right.
I believe in Geno.
I mean, yeah.
I think he has all of the tools to be a long-term starting quarterback in the NFL.
I agree. And
in my mind, in this NFL is a 3 to 5 year window of which he can be an above-average quarterback and win games for his team if necessary.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a talent from a quarterback standpoint coming out that is a can't miss.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple of them, and that's probably the issue.
Right.
They could easily trade down a little bit, get what they need defense, and go pick up.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with it. So no.
So I'm all in.
Not fraudulent.
I'm all in on Geno. All right.
I like some Geno.
Which I would not have said.
No, but
even in the beginning of this year.
He's just played.
He's shown a lot of different things, been able to do and lead a team. So
who else you got? Any other?
I don't have. He was my last one. He was the most. I saved him for last because he was the one that I had the most questions about as far as Seattle having a lot of flexibility and will Seattle buy in, or are they bought into him or not? And I was just curious where your head was at there, and I love how you played GM on that. That was a great job.
If they don't do that,
right,
I think I need to be hired as GM.
So shall we get into
Let's do our picks.
Week 15 picks,
because it's going to determine what we do for the playoffs.
I'll jump in here while you're loading the playoff machine up here. Thursday night football this week. We are the Segway masters because we've got the 49ers at the Seahawks.
Look at what we did there. We're getting good at this thing. Ew.
Big Cock Brock.
Big Cock Brock.
And franchise cornerback.
Let's check the weather.
Geno Smith. 3.5 point favorites are the 49ers on the road with
41 degrees.
A rookie quarterback at the helm.
More points than I
will say that the rookie quarterback on the road this late in the season at a competitive Seattle team, I'm going to say that's never happened before.
It's gonna be a different.
What are we seeing?
Atmosphere.
What are we seeing for weather?
41 degrees.
41.
A little breezy and
no rain though in Seattle.
No.
Today in Iowa felt like Seattle.
Oh, just raining all day long.
And just dreary.
Just dreary. Can't see. It's awful. This is gonna be a good game.
43.5.
Honestly, might be one of the better Thursday night football games, and
that's such wishful thinking.
I
for
can't
a Thursday
say I'm
night
excited.
game.
I try to hype it up. I just can't. 43.5 though.
Yeah.
I still see it going under. The Niners are not going to go blow them out by 35. That's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. They're going to run the ball because they're going to be able to, because the Seahawks can't stop shit. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to come down to the Niners defense is one of the top 5 in the league. So I just don't see that happening. Basically, the Niners should pull this one off the way the Seahawks been playing. Mm-hmm. Can the Seahawks cover? I don't see either team winning by more than 3.
I mean, Purdy's should be comfortable playing in this weather.
They're going to
played in Iowa. This is going to be a very Iowa winter, fall type of game.
Run the shit out of the ball.
They're not going to be forced to make Purdy do anything more than he's already had to do because they're going to want to run the football. Now, Seattle, gosh, I would hope that they would be trying to force Purdy into uncomfortable situations. I'm just not sure that they can, especially with Debo out.
And if they go one free or any of that crazy shit,
Purdy's proved that he can.
He just throw it
right, and he got comfortable with Kittle, who can win one-on-one. Ayuk can win one-on-one. They both won one-on-one last week.
We know McCaffrey can,
and Purdy seemed to recognize those. Didn't have problems with people in his face. 2-3 different touchdown throws.
As long as he's healthy,
I just don't see it for Seattle, and it's less to do with Seattle, more to do with what the 49ers, the way that they're trending and what their defense have been able to do on top of how their offense has been able to execute. Now 3.5 is that little number.
Can't do it.
In Seattle.
Someone's winning this ball game 20-17.
You've got
I got to take
San Francisco.
Seattle on the spread, and you're going.
And I am going to take. I just talked Geno up, but if Seattle can't run the ball with 7 guys in the box for the 49ers, they're not going to be able to throw the ball effectively. They'll be able to throw it, but not to score, and therefore low scoring game. Clock control game for the 49ers. The Seahawks are more so going to be forced to throw just because they can't run. And I just don't think the 49ers are going to have to bring extra people in to stop the run.
That's fair.
That's the biggest thing for me. So I think that 49ers win this game, let's call it 23-13, somewhere right in there.
There'll be some field goals.
So
there'll be some field goals in this one.
So I have the 49ers in covering the 3.5. We're both on the under of 43.5. You have Seattle getting the 3.5 points and San Francisco winning. Next up, I'll let you lead in with your Falcons.
I'm hyped about this game. To see a rookie who I know can throw better than Mariota, Go play at New Orleans in a game that matters. It's exciting.
On the road, though.
I know. That's why I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of it. I'm excited because I don't really give a shit if they make the playoffs or not. I didn't have them making it, or I had them making it, but only because I don't like the Saints. And they have.
But if he can go in there.
But if he can go in there and get a dub.
It's going to be rowdy.
Oh, yeah. Yep. If he can go in and do this thing.
Yeah.
Man, the hype behind him is going to be great. Regardless of this year, that's really good stuff. I believe he can.
4-point underdogs.
That's a lot of points in this matchup. I don't quite. I think it's because of the uncertainty of Ritter.
Oh, 100%.
But the way he played in the preseason, and last I know, I saw Purdy in the preseason, and he turned out all right.
Yeah.
Sitting so long, getting to know the system, getting comfortable, and just being a professional this late in the season. I hopefully we can see something special. Yeah. He's got the weapons, so it's not like that's an issue. It's just
I really wish Pitts was healthy.
I do too.
I think that honestly in a game like this could be a big factor. Yeah, just having one more weapon, middle of the field, comfort level type of throws.
I agree, but we're still run first, and that's going to be the issue. So it's just if there's going to be deep shots and he has to connect. If he doesn't connect, they're not going to win.
Right.
He has to connect on those shots.
Yeah.
So
42.5 is the total.
Ooh, that one's interesting.
How do you feel? Falcons find a way to pull this game off?
Yeah, and we always end up doing like a 24-21 game. So I got to go over.
Over?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I can't pick the Saints. I physically could never pick the Aints. It's just not going completely opposite.
I mean, I write it down.
Go big or go home on this game.
Proof's always on the paper for me.
Yee.
So Stoy is, taking his Falcons against the Saints again. That's always going to say ATL in both of those boxes, regardless of how big the number is.
For life.
He's got Atlanta. He's taking the over 42.5. I don't mind that. I'm going to take the Saints on both sides of this. I think the Saints defense can cause some problems. This being a home game for the Saints, their fans, one, are rowdy, but are going to be knowledgeable to the fact that, hey, if the Saints went out, they still have a chance. Which in the NFC South, every week matters because of that. 2 of those weeks they get to play division opponents, and they've got a chance in the other 2. So they're coming ready this week as fans. They know that quarterback is a rookie. That defense knows that quarterback is a rookie. Cam Jordan, the defensive coordinator, the head coach, all coming off fines, a little NFL spite. I'm bringing the whole kitchen sink for this cover of 4 points.
That's a lot to throw out for the Saints on.
I just don't know if the Falcons get, I would say 13 at most this week, maybe a couple field goals, maybe a late touchdown somehow. I don't see the Saints doing anything crazy, but I think they get to 17, 21, 24. So I see that as a close cover in a game that stays under.
Okay.
And weather should not be a factor.
0 factor.
If it is, we've got a leak in the roof. Next up, Cowboys.
Hey, the boys are back in town.
So what a difference a week makes. Last week we've got the Texans at home, 17-point favorites. This week, that number's down to 4.5.
At the Jags.
Still playing a despicable AFC South team in the Jaguars by record, not by trending play. All intents and purposes, Dallas should win this game, handle this game. The Jaguars, however, have been playing well. Trevor Lawrence has been playing well. I, however, have to trust that Dallas's defense can give Lawrence problems, which teams have, and that their offense can be consistent on the road for 4 quarters. And I'm seeing this as a game where hoping Dallas pulls their head out of their ass from escaping the Texans, which you need those games. I really wasn't upset, even if had they lost the game last week. It's a wake-up call.
Should have lost.
Hopefully they understand what Jacksonville's been able to do. Jacksonville definitely has weapons, both sides of the ball, so they have the ability to make this a game. I fully anticipate most of the year, Dallas has been a fourth quarter seal the game type of team. Don't see how this would be any different. I expect this to be a battle. I expect somebody on Dallas's defense to make a play, whether it be late in the third, early in the fourth quarter, kind of break the game open. Hopefully Dallas is able to run the ball, continue that trend as far as running the game out, meaning we can hand off to 3 different running backs and score touchdowns without having to throw the ball on third down or do anything crazy where we're having to do that. We'll be interested to see how T.Y. Hilton fits in, if he does it all this week. Maybe one more week for him, but would definitely like to see how he fits into the fold and what our plan is for him. So I am taking the Cowboys to cover the 4.5, and I think there's going to be some points in this game. 47 is a high number. Went back and forth on that, but I'm going to take the over in that game with a 30-23 Dallas victory.
I'd prefer if you put those in your own column, not my column.
You don't like that?
Like that? You like that? So much Cousins and Vikings talk. It's like if we had an actual.
It's almost like
Vikings
I'm wearing a gold chain right now. Like,
wait. No, I do agree. Jaguars just aren't the better team. Dan Quinn will get that defense to wrap back around. I don't know what that was. So I'll go Dallas, but I'm going under.
Okay.
I just don't think the Jags will be able to score.
All right.
In this go around. I know
they play well at home.
Lawrence is hot. Yeah, so the Cowboys play better on the road.
So
here we go.
That's why I think there's gonna be some offense.
I just think it'll be a little different.
Fair enough.
A little Sunday night football action.
Oh yeah, as we alluded to earlier, we've got the New York Football Giants at the Washington Commanders. Fresh off a tie a couple weeks ago.
Can we do it again?
Can they do it again? Commanders are 4.5-point favorites, which seems like a large number to me.
Yes.
Big thing that I saw earlier this week on, I believe it was the Twitter machine, was how amazingly well Daniel Jones has played in Washington.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Some just kind of crazy stats there. Against first of all, a division opponent. Second of all, like a defense that's been fairly decent from time to time. So 40.5 is the number there, and 4.5 is the spread for Washington. I do think the Commanders win this game.
I agree.
4.5 points, though. How do you feel about that?
Weather's not a factor, by the way.
Yeah.
The 4.5 is because the Giants just got absolutely obliterated. That's the problem.
Right, but weather did have a factor in that game. Yeah, it was rainy.
Didn't touch the Eagles at all.
Right, but like the Eagles had special teams mishaps. Yeah. Giants had special teams which
I'm more apt to tell you that it's going to go over than I am to tell you what the spread's going to be.
40.5. 40.5 is too low, and we both agree on that.
It's just too low. These teams.
They tied 20-20 in what was a terrible game. If weather's not going to be a factor,
it's not.
This game's going to be
chilly 30s, but
this game's going to be 24-21. 27-24, something
agree.
like that. But I can't give more than a field goal for the Commanders.
That's the thing.
In a division game.
I cannot do it.
So we both have the Giants covering.
I would have preferred this to be at like 2.5.
I can't believe it's 4.5 after them tying.
It is Tuesday.
It is.
So this might change, but I think
people are going to like the Commanders. We liked the Commanders 2 weeks ago when they played out the Giants.
I agree, but
it was a surprise tie that week.
It really was.
And the Commanders really did everything in their power to tie that game, but here we are. So we are both on the Commanders. We are both on the Giants to cover the 4.5 and both on the over of 40.5, leading us to the garbage can game of the week.
Is this game better or worse than Christmas Day?
Slightly better. Because one team has a chance to make the playoffs.
Oh, my Lord.
What
team?
the Packers, if they went out.
The
Baker Mayfield led Rams. Baker with 4 full days of practice now under his belt. Will go into, of all places, Lambeau. Which isn't too far from Cleveland, so you can't say that he hasn't played in weather, and that's going to be a huge factor.
The high that day is 15.
15 is the high.
Is the high.
Any weather issues?
The low, kickoff will be about 12.
Yep.
Winds 11 miles an hour.
Okay, so a little bit there, but nothing. No precipitation. Ultimately,
now, I don't think this is a Baker weather issue. I think it's the rest of the Rams team issue.
Right. I don't disagree with that. But they're playing the Packers.
7.5 is a lot of points.
7.5
Where
points
we get 7.5
on Monday Night Football in Green Bay in a cold weather game?
No.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
And Aaron Rodgers is going to play with a broken thumb.
No, thank you. I'm not. No. So I'm getting the Rams. 7.5 is a lot of points. It's too many points. No, thank you.
So here's my problem: is I watched the end of the Rams game where they scored 2 touchdowns. For 57 minutes, they scored 3 points against the Raiders defense.
Yeah, but the also the Rams defense only gave up 16 points.
No, I get it.
And really, they gave up a bunch of field goals. First drive was a touchdown.
Yeah.
3 field goals. They have Devontae Adams.
I have to agree with you here. The 7.5 is too many.
There's nothing on the Packers offense that scares the Rams whatsoever.
And as depleted as the Rams have been, that Baker injection of excitement, whatever it may be, those guys are going like. If they lose that game 16-3, nothing changes. Winning 17-16, focus level up, practice is a little different. Energy is different. Guys that may or may not be playing hurt, wanting to play, wanting to get better. All of those things change just enough because of that injection of energy that I think this game's competitive. I think this game's ugly.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, technically,
but Green Bay's got to win this game at home.
The Rams aren't out of it either.
Green Bay's got to win this game at home.
You would think. You would think they would.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it. I have to pick it.
Right.
But I don't like it. 39.5 is low. But I don't hate it.
Yeah. I struggled with this way more than I struggled with the 40.5 for the Giants Commanders.
17-10, 17-13.
I mean, one of these teams has to score 20 plus points.
For this to get to 40, someone has to score 27 points, in my opinion. I don't see it.
And I'm taking the over. This game gets to 24-17. Packers.
I don't see it. Out the Rams defense, I just don't see that.
Yeah, that's fair.
We're all over the map this week.
Yeah. That's what I like to see.
Just don't.
Finish up here with our best bets.
Oh, yeah. Hope for some easy ones.
Let's see here.
Not a lot of good stuff. The fact that the Panthers are favorites over the Steelers is just it's a toss-up game. Best. The Broncos over the Cardinals. Oh, Colt McCoy starts.
See, the Browns are favored against the Ravens?
Sure did. I sure did. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go. Give me the Bengals minus 196 over the Bucks. I don't. The Bengals are too hot. Just should be no.
That was the
fathomable way.
That was the gimme.
Yeah, there's just no fathom.
In my opinion. Broncos Cardinals.
I know. What a gross game.
Oh, that's too funny.
Just a gross football game.
I think that it's 2:15. Well, I like the 49ers, but we've already picked that, so I'll pick a different one. I am going to go with Carolina at home over the now led Mitch Trubisky-led Steelers. Minus 138. Spread lock.
Can't be mad about that. Spread lock.
I'm going Cincinnati minus 3.5 against the Bucks. Two teams trending wrong direction. I don't care if that game's at Tampa Bay.
I'm gonna.
The Bengals should just dominate that game.
I'm gonna go back-to-back weeks with things that don't make sense. Give me the Texans plus 14. And the Chiefs. They're playing at home.
Mm-hmm.
Played Dallas well. Chiefs have been iffy.
Right.
So I like that. 14 is a lot of points.
There we go.
Over under. Ooh. Yeah.
Something I don't do enough in betting is take the points. It's, I think, inherent human nature is to look for the favorites. Which favorite do I like the most? So
I go that.
Hunt for the points. That's where a lot of the sharps make a lot of their money.
Give me the points. Yeah, this one's actually a relatively easy one for me too. Give me under 48.5 Colts Vikings. I don't know where the Colts would score. And so the Vikings.
I mean, we talked about how bad the Vikings.
Yeah, but we're talking about it's the damn Colts.
Well, they've had a couple games this year where they've been decent. I'm just saying we're depending on the Vikings defense to do something here. And we know the Vikings offense can put up 40.
Nope.
All right, that's fair.
I can't trust the Colts. I've tried that before.
Don't disagree. Let's see here. What do I like? I don't know if I can trust them. I mean, there's no way Mike White is going to play.
Man, if he does, though.
The game's going over if he does, but it's... You think Joe Flacco's putting up points?
No.
Just no.
That's a negative.
Negator.
Right.
More for entertainment factor than anything here. We talked about it. Arizona, Denver, under 36.5.
Where's it played at?
At Denver. Colt McCoy will be leading the Arizona Cardinals against the top 2 or 3 scoring defense in the NFL. And Denver will be starting, is it Ripien? Something like that, against Arizona, who, and then whatever, but yeah,
mm-hmm.
I mean, give me a 13-3 game here. Arizona, Denver.
Nice.
Under 36.5. Lock it up. All right. D-Gen pick of the week.
D-Gen pick of the week. What just happened?
Mm-hmm.
How D-Gen do I want to go?
Isn't that the question?
I'm going to go a 4-teamer.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Feeling it. Plus 562. That is the Niners, Lions, Bengals, Commanders.
Boom. helps Dallas out, so we're going to go for it. Bears are plus 315 at home against the Eagles.
That'll go well.
That's for Dan Clinton and Joe Galata.
There you go.
Shout out, boys.
Shut up, boys.
Bear down.
You're such a nice friend.
Bear down.
I just never understood that. Like, why would you want them to go down?
Yeah, but it's like bear down as in.
I know, I get it. You're bearing down on someone, but like.
I get it. Like, it's easy to talk down to as well.
Like, why would you?
Right.
Like, the Bears are down. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, they're not.
Just down.
They're just down.
I know.
They're not good.
It's bad.
Not good. All right.
There it is. There it is.
Want to recap them?
Is that no, I'm going to let you recap them.
All right.
I don't really
Money
like
line locks. I got Cincy. Cole's got Carolina. Spread lock. I got Houston plus 14. Cole went with Cincy at 3.5. Over under, I got Minnesota and Indy under 48.5. Cole went with Arizona, Denver under 36.5. DGen pick, I went with a 4, a little 4 parlay. Niners, Lions, Bengals, Commanders at plus 562. And Cole went with Chicago at plus 315. Are all of yours DGen picks? Like,
why do you think I didn't want to read the recap?
It's just like,
wait a second.
those aren't.
I mean,
correct.
by the numbers, no.
No, right.
But if by the team names,
Yes. Okay.
they're all DGen teams.
Yeah.
Not Cincy, but yeah.
3 of your 4 are
teams you don't talk about.
Debatable picks at best.
Well,
At best.
Everybody likes a good underdog.
Yeah, they do.
All right, let's jump into our playoff machine.
Yeah.
To wrap things up.
Let's go. Okay. Let's fill in. Let's go to week 15. Here we stand as is.
Yeah.
We got the 1 seeds with Philly and the Bills. 2 seeds are Vikings, Chiefs. 3 seeds are Ravens, Niners. 4 seeds are those awful Buccaneers and the Titans. 7 seeds are the Giants, Patriots. Why did I go back? Oh, whatever. Yep. 6 seeds, Commanders, Dolphins, and the 5 seed is Cincy and Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. So we both have San Francisco winning.
Mm-hmm.
We both have Dallas winning.
Mm-hmm. Minnesota.
We could have Minnesota winning. We've got Washington winning. And Green Bay.
And Cincy.
And Cincy.
And the Chargers.
And the Chargers. And all right. So we'll just start at the top.
All right.
Ravens, Browns.
We need to come back to that game. I don't know enough about that game.
Bills, Dolphins.
We got the Bills.
Yeah, Bills at home should win that.
Yep.
We're split here.
Yeah.
So we'll
take your Falcons here.
Okay.
Because they have the better record.
Panthers, Steelers. You've got Panthers.
Yep.
I'll go with it. I can't argue it. I'm not going with your DGen pick. I'm sorry. I'm going Eagles.
That's fine.
Is a bug in here?
Yeah.
How's there a fly?
Fly guy.
It's freezing outside.
He doesn't want to be out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Chiefs.
Jets, Lions. This is a Mike White thing for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions just because even if White's playing, he's definitely not gonna be healthy.
I prefer not to pick.
Let's go with tie on that one.
Yeah, that's fine
because it doesn't matter.
Raiders, Patriots.
I mean, Patriots have to win that game.
All right, we'll give it to them just because they have to.
And the Raiders have not won a game that matters
ever.
Here.
Okay.
And you pick Packers on the bottom right there.
So this Ravens, Browns.
I mean, it comes down to if Huntley plays, I'll take the Ravens because the Browns have been that bad. If he doesn't, the Browns are going, I think, win this game.
I agree. So
at this point, I think we have to figure that as tough as the NFL has been on
Huntley's out
protocol stuff that
concussion,
and based on Vegas right now, the Browns are favored, so they are not. We'll just go with that.
Things changed a little bit.
Yeah,
Carolina's in.
Yeah,
Carolina is the only thing that really changes.
No, the 7 seed is not, or the 7 seed becomes the Dolphins, 16 becomes the Chargers. Patriots go out.
Yeah,
even though they won.
Looking on that,
even though we had them winning.
I was looking at the NFC side.
Oh, I can't see the NFC side because of this camera.
Oh,
there we go. Now I can. I was just reading the one I could see.
Yeah, really. So main change there would be that the Panthers take over the Bucks because the Bucks lost. AFC side, a lot of change.
How funny does that look? Jeez. Looks like the mid-90s again.
It really does. Dolphins do get in. Chargers are in. Even with the Patriots
win.
Yep.
Does
that have anything to do with this tie? You think? No. Nope. So you're leaving it a tie. I like that week as a week 15.
Yeah, week 16.
I don't think anything flips.
Yeah.
I mean, this could flip, but it doesn't do anything. Yep. Week 16. Jets, Jags. Well, again, another Mike White issue. I think he'll be back for that one.
I would lean towards Jags at this point. Again, like to see them this week. If they're competitive this week, I would pick them next week.
I like the Jets. Come back.
But
Titans better win that game.
Yep.
This will be a good game.
Yeah, I would.
But I'm going
49ers need to win.
We're gonna pick the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
But this is
Huntley's back in 2 weeks, no matter what.
Correct.
I think they find a way to win that game.
It just depends on. It depends on if Ritter's good or not.
Yeah,
like that's
true.
That's what makes that debatable.
Lions,
Panthers. I actually like the Lions.
Yep, I would pick the Lions in that game as well.
Cowboys, Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas would have to prove that to me. I will likely play the spread in that game, but I would also likely, if I'm just betting, I think the Eagles would win that game.
All right, I'll let you ride with it.
Raiders. Doesn't matter, but I'd pick the Raiders.
Whatever. Bills. Saints, Browns.
At the Browns, I'll take the Browns, but Watson needs to play better. I will not
argue that. Dolphins will beat the Packers. Oh God,
that's the game they can't flex out of now. That's the Christmas Day game.
God,
give me the Rams.
Yeah, give me the Rams. Chiefs, Seahawks. I got the Chiefs.
Yep.
Vikings, Giants.
Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, at home, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with the Bucks, although I'm not 100% sold on that situation.
Yeah.
Chargers over the Colts, and then the Bengals are hot.
Yep.
All right. No change on the AFC side.
Yep.
And we've got 2 changes on the NFC side. The Lions are in 7 seed.
Yeah.
And the Bucks are in at the 4 seed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I mean, if you flip that game, anything? So that's the Lions Panthers game is a huge game in Week 16 because that will that'll flip the playoffs. That's a potential playoff game.
Right.
If Week 15 goes as projected by Vegas, the Lions Panthers game will be essentially a playoff, an early playoff game, a 2-week early playoff game.
Affects 4 teams.
Yeah. Big difference there.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
That's a big trigger, so we'll come back to that after we finish these. Dallas Titans.
Yeah, give me Dallas.
Yeah, absolutely. Eagles, Saints, yeah. Hey, I'm a what? You like that?
No, I'm just trying to see. I don't think the only thing that the Dallas game that game is going to be irrelevant.
I think they played this one though. I don't think.
Yeah, but the last 2 weeks are going to be irrelevant. We just have to start taking that in consideration now. Is that those first 4 seeds and then the 5th seed are going to be set on both sides,
right?
Fairly, well, not the NFC, or AFC, not nearly as much. Never mind. NFC side though, it's going to be set a lot earlier.
It's set.
Just because of the Eagles being what I think are going to be head and shoulders above the 1 seed. Unfortunately, even if Dallas were to win, that game becomes a little.
I think they
bigger.
play this one.
Yep,
it's the next one. I think that we drop.
Yep.
I'm gonna give us the win over the Cards. This will be a big one.
Yeah,
and I will give it to the Bucks.
Well, I mean, if you do, that's what you're giving them. I mean, that's a playoff game.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
the Panthers are playing playoff games the last 3 weeks of the season. We knew the Panthers had to win out to get to the playoffs. So,
Ravens, Steelers. Huntley, everyone's healthy at this point. We don't know where Lamar's at, but they're a better football team, or no?
Yeah.
Washington over the Browns.
Yep.
The Lions have to win this one.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco better beat the Raiders.
Yep.
However, we're trickling in that period of time.
Yeah, but they're going to be in the 2-3, so they're gonna play throughout. They'll be playing for a seed.
Jets, Seahawks
In Seattle, so I would lean Seattle.
Yeah, me too. This game I'm getting to the Jags.
Yep.
Houston's awful. Kansas City still playing in the 1 seed, so they're going to be playing through.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a good game, but in picking, the Vikings better beat the Packers.
Correct.
Dolphins, Patriots.
Dolphins are the better team this year. I would lean towards the Dolphins. They've had the Patriots numbers as well.
Same thing with the Battle of L.A.
Yeah, Chargers.
You got to go Chargers. The Giants better take care of business against the Colts at home.
Mm-hmm.
This will be just a fantastic game.
Yeah.
And I really don't know which way it goes.
Bengals. I'll lean towards the home team at this point.
Yeah. This will be a fun one.
It'll flop.
Monday Night Football game.
That's gonna flop seeding as well.
Yeah.
Flop your 2 and your
They're
3.
playing each other. All right. So no change. Well, one change.
Big changes in the AFC.
Big changes in the AFC though.
You get Kansas City moves up to the 1 line with the Bills losing. Bengals and Bills flop the.
Yeah.
Bills go from the 1 to the 3.
And Bengals go 3-2.
3-2.
Yeah. And we head into the all important Week 18.
Yeah.
Which is it's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks, Falcons. I didn't think we got in. It's basically an irrelevant game, I think. Yeah, it is.
That's why the 2 weeks before that.
16 matters.
Yeah, 16 and 17.
In that regard, I think we'll win if it doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
At that point, I'll give the Panthers that this game is irrelevant too. And in a tie because I don't like either team. Bills are still playing.
Got it.
I don't see them losing that game.
Nope.
Philly's not playing.
Nope. And the Giants are.
Yep. Vikings are playing.
Vikings are. Yep.
I guess an irrelevant game here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll give it to Steelers at home. You shut down this week, in your opinion?
Mm-hmm.
Do you shut down to win or shut down to lose?
I mean, we're the 5 seed no matter what.
Right. But I mean, do you think you pull enough people out where you would lose that game?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what
we shouldn't, Dak shouldn't start. Pollard shouldn't play.
Correct.
Zeke can play with Noah Brown, and if we're getting T.Y. Hilton some reps and stuff like that, it's fine. But
so, huge matchup. Ravens-Bengals.
It's the Bengals, though.
Ravens win. They go to a 3 seed, and Bengals go from 2 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bengals at home, they're a better football team.
Yeah. And they stay at the 2. Bengals stay at the 5.
Chargers are clearly going to beat the Broncos because they're horrific. Which puts the Bills and Ravens as a matchup in the playoffs.
But you realize that based on what we just did, that we have the Chargers going 4-0 to end the season, finishing at 11-6. Just so you know.
I said it's possible. I told you it was possible.
That's why we didn't call him a fraud. All right. Also, the Ravens' injury status is big because that means they're going 2-2 down the stretch, and even than that, we're stretching a little bit.
Huge question mark on injuries. Yep. The Lions are playing a game to get in the playoffs, so they're not losing that.
Or they are, because it's a game to get in the playoffs.
I see what you did there. I'm gonna give Houston the win over the Colts. Just give them another dub. Who cares?
Chiefs.
Chiefs
have to win. Keep the 1 seed.
They sure do. So they're gonna play that one.
Yeah.
Titans, Jags.
Jacksonville at home.
Okay, Jacksonville at home. San Francisco.
Jags still don't get in.
Nope. San Francisco playing for nothing.
Man.
So I'll give it to the Cardinals because they'll rest there. Jets, Dolphins.
We really have the Vikings going 14-3. That's not happening, by the way.
No, we'll go back. We'll adjust. This is our original.
Dolphins
or Jets?
I think the Dolphins win that game. I mean, again, I don't know how bad. I mean, it's at the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins find a way to win.
All right, And then Seattle will find a way to win. All right, so this is how it originally sits after we go through and think through records.
Right.
Okay. So let's go back to, I don't think we had any changes in week 15. It was 16. All right, so 16, we've got the main flip being, where the hell was it? Oh, here. If that happened, the Giants are in. Okay. Do you think the Giants can do that?
How are the Giants in at 9-7-1 over Detroit at 10-7?
Detroit would be 9-7.
Oh, yeah, they would be
the tie.
No,
the legitimate tie got them in.
Yeah, they would be 9-8. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Where else in?
I mean, and this is something we'll do each week from here until the playoffs. What I love about knowing right now is that essentially everyone in the AFC has to play 17 weeks.
They do.
The seeding is going or 18 weeks, 17. They've got to play all 17 of their games because seeding matters the whole time. NFC, that's going to be irrelevant for 2 or 3 teams. And so do we have the 49ers like losing any games in the last?
Yeah, we hadn't losing the Cardinals because it didn't matter. But if 16, no, we haven't won out. Where are they? Yeah, they're winning out, except for week 18. But it all comes down to this game for basically this game for.
Well, I mean, you think the Vikings are going to sweep the Packers?
I don't know how the Packers play.
No. Take the Packers in that game in San Francisco to go to win, playing for seeding.
Okay.
That does flip them. Okay.
Yeah, it'll flip them.
13. Well, they're both 13-4, so that's why I was curious.
That's the only thing that really flips them.
Yeah.
And then for my lonely NFC South, really need the Bucks to lose one more game.
Yeah.
Probably. It could be.
It'll be that game that they have to lose.
What's this one? Woo! It's the only chance we got in.
Mm-hmm.
No chance. Come on, Panthers. Although I think this would have worked too.
Yeah, but did you have the Panthers winning 17 and 18 in that last scenario?
Oh, this. If I did this. Yeah, we're still in.
Did they win week 18 as well? They had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if everybody's tied at 8 and 9, the Falcons have the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm. We'd have
because they would win the division. As far as because first tiebreaker is division record, right?
Yeah. I would assume division. It had to be division record or something.
I was just curious if all of those teams somehow ended up tied, which team would have the
it'd be crazy
tiebreaker. So
there we are.
So you still got a chance, buddy.
Still got a chance. I don't think it's a very good one.
How about that projected too? Dallas at Atlanta. Dallas would be
that'd be just fun
by,
for us.
Yeah, would be a 9.5-point favorite.
The thing that sucks is I'd rather play at Dallas.
Right.
Can we just switch?
No, absolutely not.
Why not? That would be fun for us. Talk a lot of shit, and you never know. But with these matchups as is, and this is how we'll end. How do you have the playoffs going? Start in the AFC.
AFC.
Repeat. Here we go.
Right.
Is Lamar back or not? Let's say he's not. I have no idea what it is.
Unless something changes for the Bengals.
Like injury wise or something?
Yeah, like
they're hot. They're good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. Bengals, Chiefs, Bills, top 3 teams. So I think the Bills would beat Miami. I think the Bengals would beat Baltimore. Ultimately, I think the Chargers would be riding hot hand, would win that game. The Chiefs are not going to want to see the Chargers, but when your alternatives are Allen or Burrow showing up in Arrowhead, you take the Chargers
absolutely
100 times out of 100. But this right here, we talked earlier about old regime pushing them out. Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert, studs, absolute studs. You've got Lamar Jackson that would be out, Tua that would be out, and then Tannehill.
Old though.
is the only guy that like wouldn't fit in that conversation. AFC is loaded with quarterbacks, loaded with talent, going to be a fun playoff scenario no matter what. But I would have, Los Angeles going to Kansas City, Buffalo traveling to Cincinnati.
Those are games. And those are fun games.
Sign me up. I'm not going any more from there, but that's how I see that playing out.
And then we get to the NFC.
NFC, you've got Philadelphia, who run things. You've got Detroit, San Francisco. Feel bad for Detroit because it's really the only team in the playoffs that
a good match.
They just don't match well. They're cheering for the Vikings to be paired up against the Vikings in some way.
Yes.
They're never going to get to the 5 seed. They want to be the 6 or the 7, with the Vikings being a 2. Like however it plays out, they want the Vikings to win.
The Niners. Yes.
7-2. However, Detroit's not beating San Francisco.
Correct.
Washington, if it ends up that way, Vikings at home. Vikings have to find a way to win that game.
They do. They'll win one.
They're too talented of a roster not to win that game.
Right.
Whoever it is that ends up getting it.
This should not be a football game.
Dallas, Tampa, this is a rematch of the opener. Dallas only gave up 15 points, I think.
Yeah, it's not.
They lost like 15-10, 15 to whatever it was. I expect Dallas to handle their business no matter who they're playing in that first round.
Good news is they know they're
going to play
someone in NFC
Dallas
South.
Is going to play the winner of the NFC South. You have to win that football game or your coach has to get fired. And
you're so not wrong.
But you had to win that football game. So Dallas now gets to, unfortunately, go play Philly, which is what I hate about how this is going to set up and how the seeding is going to set up.
Good game, though. I would love that game. And this is a good matchup, too.
Yeah. So Dallas at Philly. It's just it's a third time of the year. And the thing is you can't punish. I wouldn't want to play San Francisco probably as much, if not more, as playing Philly, depending on how they're doing. However, if Purdy's still the quarterback, you would have to take your chance
in the playoffs.
But I think San Francisco, Minnesota, if they're playing at San Francisco, I just don't know that Minnesota has a chance in that game. If they're playing at Minnesota has a chance. But
I agree.
I think on both sides it looks pretty chalky. Inevitably, every year we get an injury, we get something that changes a little bit that'll be a little bit off from what we have right now.
But we'll go through it.
But I don't think that any of those are real far-fetched at this point. And not really, I'm not stepping outside the box there at all.
No.
But I just think that those teams have solidified themselves. Now we go back here and we look at quarterback play from an opposite view of you've got Jalen Hurts, first year, has been a stud this year, likely as long as he can finish the season. Him and Mahomes are going to battle for the MVP. I think Burrow will end up being in there overall as well, but I think as long as Philadelphia finishes as number 1 overall seed, Hurts probably wins the MVP this year. But then you get into the 2 seed, and you've got Brock Purdy. Then you've got Kirk Cousins. And then you've got either Tom Brady, Sam Darnold, Ritter, or whoever the Saints might throw out there. You've got Dak. You've got Heineke.
Yep.
And you've got Jared Goff.
What a mixed bag.
Needless to say, the AFC, regardless of the 4 guys that come out of the gauntlet, will likely be favored in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, as they should.
Everybody but the Chargers, basically, just because they've proven that everything's competitive with them, regardless of how good or bad they are.
Realistically, if Philly is not in it, we're talking about a touchdown spread at least to the AFC.
Yeah.
The Philly would be the only one that would match up.
And even then, it's probably 2.5 to 3.5. Yeah.
Agreed. So, all right. We'll leave this as is. Yep. We'll revert back to it. And we can't wait. It's playoffs.
Yeah.
It's playoff time. It's almost that time.
Going to be a lot of games that are playoff. I mean, I didn't realize it until we started, but we did talk about it as far as those interconference, interdivision games being, ipso facto, they're playoff games in week 16, playoff game implication games week 17, week 18. Teams are going to play themselves in and out, so emotions will run high. Please NFL referees, do not F it up.
Stay out of the game.
Thank you.
Jesus.
That's all I'm going to say before I get too wound up.
And that's how we're going to end it. So, like, share, subscribe, tweet, do all those things. We'll catch you next week.
Have a great weekend.